really like this music. Yes, it's the final day where the wait has come to an end. Redbull Wololo Legacy. The castle looks great. Like this reminds me of the last time we saw this. It was so much fun. Seeing all those bears in the land event. I think it was right after COVID. It was such a big tournament, and the best part of it was all of them in this castle basically living like kings. And it's happening right now. Yeah, I forgot I got a call right now. Just started. But yeah, and it's happening again, and we're here to watch it. Hopefully, I'll be able to cast all the games today. If not, well, you know, there's like 8 games. A lot of podcasters out there as well. Just the friends there. Gosh, it's gonna be a rough day. It's gonna be really loud about it. The game already starting soon.
Signs out of Snow Day
I mean,
from Viper and he's out of in the middle. Leary's castle goes down. His turn to raid Leary's economy. And Viper holds on to that castle.
Right there.
And he's killing the villagers on the gold. They're desperately running for the TC. Looks the Cavalier, they can do what they're doing here to the trebuchets, and then Leary will have nothing.
Both of them are like really good players. They're on the power ladder. Obviously, right there. He's a really good guy. He's probably the greatest there. He's really great players too. And really, Kingston, he's the challenger. And he has had it. His shares of some
Welcome,
tournaments.
exalted viewers around the world to Heidelberg Castle here in the heart of Germany for Redbull Wololo Legacy. What a pleasure it is to have you joining us for an incredible celebration of the Age of Empires franchise, spanning games across decades. Age of Empires 1, 2 and 4 showcased in this celebration of the franchise that we all love. My name's Riley Knight. I'll be your host across the coming weekends as we give away more than $500,000 to the best players in the world across, as I've said, 3 different Age of Empires titles. Age of Empires 2, the first game on the docket, of course, as we open the tournament this week here. And this is where the action will be taking place. From around the world, champions. The enthusiasm, the excitement in here is palpable, my friends. We can't wait to sit down at our analyst desk, talk you through the matches. But of course, over here, you can see we've built a little stage with a fan favorite pair, Dave and T90, ready to walk you through the games which are coming your way very shortly indeed. As I've mentioned,
it looks so
good. Age of Empires has been showcased here as part of Redbull's Wololo series for a very long time now, and whether you're a new fan, whether you're an old fan,
Hey, wait a minute, what? Why is it stuck? Come on. No, I want Dave and T90. Ma'am, Neely. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Why is it stuck? Stop it. It's gone. The stream's gone. That's weird. That is really weird. Just got stuck. Let me check. I know this doesn't happen, but oh my gosh, I'm excited for the games. I think my feed's gone. No, come back. Basically frozen. That should not happen. Should never happen. Why is this happening right now? Let me see. Only my feed's gone. Weird. I don't know how to load it. Oh, it's back. Please come back.
The theme
Okay,
fits
back.
perfectly.
Thank you.
Spectacular.
Oh my gosh. That was scary.
I remember you used to show up there in the mornings and the castle was just completely shrouded in this fog, and it seemed like it was right out of a dream, and it was just an absolutely unbelievable experience.
So memorable simply because it really got the flair from the castle onto the screen to the viewers at home. I think that's something really special that Red Bull achieved there.
We're gonna miss Nico
My
this
favorite
time.
thing
Also
being
wins.
well, not so much favorite, but something I will not forget is losing like 10 villagers to 1 HP Eagle Warrior from Kapoch.
That's an incredible comeback and an incredible performance from Kapoch. And big hug there from Doubt. He's smiling, he's laughing, he knows that's a...
Kinda sad.
I had to face Doubt, and we were in game 3, and there was a moment where I realized, okay, I'm pulling ahead right now, and there's no chance I'm going to throw away this game anymore. Yeah, just beating him was just a great milestone for me.
So it was the first proper LAN event for Age of Empires for a long time. I'm always looking forward to meeting teammates. Was super high. This was what everyone wanted to qualify for.
Coming from an extraordinary group stage, the playoffs were a show-stopping clash of titans.
Wow. Wow. I'm getting
We
chills.
saw the reigning champion Leary.
Leary playing those men.
A rock solid the Viper.
I think I can still perform to the point where I can win an event, and what better time?
And this is
than
from
that?
last
And
year,
Jordan.
right? Yep. I think so. Oh, come
So
on.
far, clearly showed
Loading's
that he
gonna
was
be
a
an issue, I
determined
guess.
and serious opponent.
Capote sees he's surrounded.
Oh my God,
and
Jordan,
what a series.
what a series there.
However, one of the biggest moments coming into the playoffs was the unbelievable match between Hera and
This
MBL.
game is absolute insanity. I agree with you. BL coming back from 2 and he takes it.
Oh my God!
Look, you're shaking. It's so exciting to see this.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, there's so much adrenaline going on, and
It's probably my greatest victory of all time.
Stop.
Insane.
I wish I could fix this.
Those big
I don't
trap shots
really
there
know how
with
to
doing
like
the splash damage.
figure out the
Most of the
lag.
scrubs are dying. Abadas and Habadius defending.
It's kind of
Master
annoying.
of Chaos, and the energy that he brought to that game, the energy, passion that he put into it, I think it's a well-deserved win, and I'm so excited to see what he can bring to the semi-final.
Maybe I'll just use my brother's host work. Let me see if I can.
In the semi-finals, we saw Leary go up against MBL, while Jordan faced off against the Viper.
He's getting closer and closer for the snake to be in the grand.
Or maybe it's just
taking the
branded.
castle. He's in the grand final.
After two
Let me
amazing
change it quickly.
semi-finals, the Viper and Leary met again in the championship match. Throughout the group stage, the Viper only lost once, in a best-of-3 against Leary. Could this possibly be a sneak preview of the grand final itself? Leary, an undisputed master of Empire Wars, was the favourite heading into the tournament, and the Viper had never won. It has proved to be decisive in the final showdown between these two titans of the game.
My most personal, memorable situation was probably against Leary.
Just goosebumps everywhere. You're so excited. You're focused 100%. And two men going up against each other. The better one wins. It's just the feeling I live for, you know?
Wait, what's happening? Wow.
I'm watching the last video. I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait. You know.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I'm so excited. Really.
Yeah,
It's
I mean-
amazing. Everything is amazing. I mean, people can see. You guys can see. And there is a lot more.
Yeah. Oh, so much more to come, Nilly. I mean, we've got not just Age of Empires 2, but Age of Empires 1, Age of Empires 4. We'll talk about that in greater detail later through the week. But I know for you, someone who's been to the entire series, we are bigger and better than ever this time around, hey?
And it's actually surprising to me because last year was like it felt like perfect, and they just stepped it up even more and making it, as you said, even bigger. Production is crazy. People are even more hyped because they knew how great last year was. I think should be the same.
Yeah, well, they've done it again. I mean, I didn't know what they were going to do. I was like, are they going to host it on the moon this time to raise the stakes? But we are back here. We've got a couple of surprises up our sleeves to walk you through as well, my friends. But before that, let's get through some of the housekeeping stuff and have a chat about what you're going to see on your screens across the coming days, particularly as we focus now into the Age of Empires 2 tournament. I know there'll be rabid fans, thousands of them around the world, ready to celebrate this game that has been around for... I mean, it feels like about as long as some of the civs that they're playing with, to be honest. This is an old game with a long history, and we're going to have a chat about the sort of stuff that we're going to see, starting, of course, with the prize money. $200,000 on the line for the Age of Empires 2 portion. 60K going to the winner, 30K to the second place player, the runner-up there. 200,000 reasons to smile. This is an absurd amount of money, and we cannot wait to see who is going to rise to the top to claim it. But who are those players? Mem, let's have a chat about some of the players that we're going to see here. I know you've been keeping an eye on Group A. There are some massive names throughout both groups, but particularly in Group A, talk to us about some of the players here that you're looking forward to seeing.
Well, we're going to see the reigning champion. We're going to open the tournament with the Viper. Having this name is already a hype. We want to see. Obviously, he's going to play against Kingston. He just joined it.
That really lives up to
it's like
the
a
hype.
gift for him. So I think
he will get
it's
some
going to
time
be
to play
amazing.
games.
Then
I think
after
like
that we have Doubt.
two players play the
versus
games
Dogao.
as well.
I mean, the two players that just joined the tournament.
So that's gonna be good, really, for Viper and I guess the tournament as well.
It's very important to see what can happen because you lose the first game, it might end the Viper, or now they are the favorite, supposed to be the favorite, and then they lose the first game. Oh.
Yeah. There's not just the Age of Empires game, there's also the psychological game. That's going to come into it. So that's our Group A. Group B, Nilly, I know you've been keeping an eye on some of the players there. I mean, again, some very big names. What stands out to you in our second group?
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Group A looked extremely strong, and now looking at Group B, you probably have like 3 players that are considered top 4 players. Like Leary, arguably the best. Hera, arguably top 3 player. Mr. Yo, Red Bull champion as well. So it feels like 5 people are fighting for only 1 ticket because the 3 at the top are just so dominant.
Right, and for those of you who are perhaps new to Age of Empires, maybe joining us for the first time, welcome. By all means, welcome there. Very quickly going to realise that some of the legendary figures in this game, just how dominant they are. But anything can happen. We've seen upsets in this very castle before. We might see it happen again. But let's have a look at our schedule for today at least. And I want to remind you there are actually going to be 2 streams covering the matches today. To kick things off, we're going to start with our Group A matches. So that's going to start with Kingston versus the Viper. Those boys are already setting up and getting ready to go. And then we'll move on to Dogao versus Doubt, of course, before checking in with Kapoch and Valese. And our 4th Group A match, of course, here is MBL and Jordan. Now, those are the Group A players as we've talked about. If your favourite player is playing in Group B, don't worry, because you can head over to the backup stream, the B stream, and you'll be in the capable hands of Ellie.
I guess Larry's
and
also playing, but he's on
there.
B stream.
They'll be looking after you as you walk.
Both games will be on the same time, so it's going to be really difficult. And obviously, we have to watch them. We have to watch them.
And I should mention as well, you may have seen in the schedule there that we have some TBC games later on. Those are the Group B winners matches, and I'll quickly walk you through how this is going to work. We don't need to get too granular with it. You can, as Nilly always says, check Wikipedia. But if you're interested to know how it's going to work, essentially the bottom line is 2 wins in the group stage, you through the quarterfinals, 2 losses, and you're out. And that's it. There are going to be 4
time to come back to area, and you know it.
And there are going to be 4 players from each group who, unfortunately, go home. But we are going to send people to the quarterfinals today. These winners matches are taking place today in both groups, and we're going to send people to the quarters, to that top 8 spot that they're all fighting so hard for today. So a lot on the line, even on day 1 here at Redbull Wololo Legacy, and we can't wait to bring it to you. But Nilly, before we jump into the games themselves, let's talk about the format that we're actually playing.
Man, just look at this. It's so reminiscing about the last one. It's so
slightly different take here at Red Bull.
Yeah, that's so true. Typically, if you think about Age of Empires, it is like we're starting with 3 villagers, 1 scout, and trying to explore, trying to build our base. But Red Bull is speeding it up so much. We're starting with 27 villagers. The scout, we already have some buildings. We already advanced to the feudal age. So basically skipping the first 11 minutes where...
I guess this format is actually good for tournaments because like I think the Dark Age for most people is still super slow, especially at the top level, and people wouldn't want to blame too much, but obviously like there's MBL in the tournament.
Again, a very aggressive,
you never know. Are the dresses noblemen?
Explosive moments as
I think they're dresses villagers. I'm not so sure.
It's gonna be dead in 2 minutes, you know, and it's something that makes that you cannot miss anything.
Yeah,
I mean we have best of 3. Today we have already 4 players in the quarterfinals, and you
I
missed
think
2 minutes.
Mem is like Spanish gunman. Not a bomb,
before, so really
looks
you
like
are
that.
not going to want to miss a
Building
moment.
villagers.
I know you
That's
are
true.
champing at the bit, waiting to get underway with these matches. Our players are too. They've assembled here at Heidelberg Castle for fame and fortune to prove who amongst them is the best. Let's check in with them now. Here they are as they made their way to this incredible location.
Oh, we got a vid. Let's see. I see Villas Dogao already. Damn. I don't know if this is live. Nah, this is kind of live. I think this is captured from earlier. Most likely. Has to be, right? Gosh. Whew. It's gonna be a fun day, huh? Alright. We don't get the commentary sound though. Because, I mean, obviously, I have to do all the commentary. And, I mean, we're not in game yet. This is gonna be difficult. Let me see if I can just pop the sound from Twitch. Hopefully so.
Yesterday, he's never, ever in his entire life played a game against the Viper.
Ever. Not ranked?
Tournament, ranked,
Nothing.
Nothing.
Whoa, that's
Absolutely
kind of
nothing.
crazy.
No,
That's
and
not
I
a
think
thing.
Kingston's
so rare,
on
and
there,
we're gonna
maybe he
head now
doesn't
to the
play it
draft
often.
and
but
our
yeah.
drafting room. Tristan, talk us through it.
Well, it looks pretty freaking cool, man. Some people were able to put out some images on social media and whatnot. They said, no, not the draft room. We got to wait for the mainstream for the draft room. And we have our Viper on the right, who's got a snake-themed staff from
Look
winning
at
the
that.
previous Redbull Wololo. And you can see all the maps there on the left side of the world map.
I think this is the
We're gonna
same
go
guy
over
from
here to the left, and
before.
you'll see the
Yeah,
band
I remember him
for
from last
Kingston.
time.
And
Damn.
starting off with Northern Isles there. So the bands will
He's
be
back.
down in red, obviously.
There
and
was
then
also
the,
a female
the picks will
villager
be
with
up
him.
in blue
Oh,
for
he's
the
still confused.
civilizations.
He's still
Now, I
confused,
believe
just
it's
like
the,
last time, I
the
guess.
final map that is left unbanned at the end that will be game number 1, I believe.
Yeah, correct. So the way the maps work, we're going to see a lot of maps come up on your screen.
He looks
there.
ready.
That is the map that is left over. So
Well, I've never
go
seen
through it here. And
Kingston.
it's
I
interesting.
mean,
you
I
know, you
guess
see
it's his
Kingston
first
ban a hybrid
LAN
map. We had
appearance.
heard some talkings about maybe Gamer Legion players with Tato and
Can you not
would
freeze
really
right now?
focus on a water map when there's not many of them, and so he banned that, and he picks
Morass.
yeah.
Which is a fantastic map for a player with Kingston style.
True.
Like you've been saying it for the last few months, as his rise has been kind of amazing. He's gone from what we would consider mid-pro tier to the upper echelon so quickly in like the last 6 months. And he's got such clean builds. He executes really well early, and he kind of spirals on that aggression and just snowballs it to victory.
Correct.
So as long as Viper can kind of stabilize against that, he should be fine. But like Mem said, it's best of 3. You can't take your eyes off the screen, and if one of these favorites loses the first match, could be terrifying.
The draft
so
is
Viper
actually
has
super
picked
interesting,
Arabia, and he's also banned Shoals.
Yep. Interesting one. I mean, maybe a map that will need to be
Interesting
figured out a
maps.
little bit as we
Morass
go
is
through the
really
stage as
tricky.
well.
Like,
So again, folks, now we see the
it has
bands
all
until
the
there's one
swordfish
map
on it,
remaining.
and if
So
you
it's
kind of
very
lose
different
control, you
from,
get
you know, one
really
player
far
getting an
behind in
advantage
it.
and getting a final pick per
Interesting
se.
pick.
So
There's a lot of
ideally,
bands.
this is going to be like
That's
as even
way too
ground as
many
it
bands.
gets for our first game.
And if you're
Bulls,
wondering if
Shoals,
these civs are all placed in their historical location,
Frigid
I
Lake,
can assure you
Acclivity.
that Riley
Acclivity.
Knight,
I don't really know
resident
why
historian,
Acclivity,
spent
because
20 minutes
Acclivity
yesterday
should give Viper a really
more
good
than that.
advantage. But
arranging them as best he
I think
could.
he
Now, it's hard
wants to
fit all
have
the
more
European
close
ones
maps on his
into the
side.
continent, but he certainly did an excellent job from my limited knowledge, and Tristan even gave him the thumbs up, so we really know that they're all in the correct
Of course.
place.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm truly the final judge when it comes to anything geographical. But Outcrop is going to be our remaining map, which means our game 1, ladies and gentlemen. And if you look at, if you know a bit about
Very,
Morass
very
and Arabia,
interesting,
it's kinda
actually.
in between because
I've never played
isn't
Outcrop though.
quite as open as some of the
I
other ones.
think
Allows
what
some
happens
few
is
late
you
aggression,
really
but
have
it
to
might
go
be
up and
the map
extend
that
to the
we like the
sides.
most if you're a fan of post-in play.
There's a lot
I
of
saw some
gold.
the training
There's a
games
lot
go
of
quite late.
stone.
Mobility, Cav Archers,
Yep.
you know, Berbers, civs like Tatars, and we see Aztecs now being banned from Viper first, and Kingston's got to be a little bit nervous. What if he like bans a civ that Viper really wanted? If Viper's got that giant staff, and they're not too far away.
Oh man, you could be creative with that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why
So, I believe
Viper is showing with the style.
this
That's
is
really
interesting, actually,
interesting.
because our poor villager
He's
doesn't know
magical,
all
huh?
the icons.
It's probably in a different language too.
And it's not alphabetical. So credit to him. It took him a second there to get Gurjaras out of there. And
Yeah.
Viper with a little smirk on his face, like, why did you ban Gurjaras?
Maybe Kingston's got some ideas, man. And we saw him practicing yesterday. He's a very nice guy. Pleasure to meet him.
Britons.
And we're
I don't
so
know.
glad he could
I
come to
wouldn't
this tournament.
think of
Obviously, we're
Britons as a
sad for the
civ that you would
competitors that
really want to
unfortunately
ban.
couldn't make it here,
Sure.
but Kingston
But
being here is a
obviously,
great
I'm not a
opportunity
pro.
for him. And matching up against the Snake,
I'm not a pro.
very first
I
match
wouldn't know
is
the best.
crazy.
Yeah. Everyone told him, you've got nothing to lose, and Viper's going to have
Dravidians. I guess they got a buff specifically for Empire Wars.
Yep.
But not for the first series.
Because they start with a lot more wood now.
What facial expression was that from Kingston? It's so tough. Yeah.
It's composure.
I'm surprised he's not shaking right now. He's in a draft room in front of thousands of people at a LAN event.
Look at it. Look at it.
Bulgarians.
He picks Bulgarians. That is.
Ooh, I just got chills
right there, I think.
from my whole body. Oh my gosh. Bulgarians.
Viper
that
is
is
also, if he has any
the
weakness,
favorite sim
someone who can start to
of mine, obviously.
He starts off
not
slow,
his.
and there's been instances
Not the
where, like,
Vipers.
he wins
Definitely
the
mine.
final eventually, but in the round of 32,
Mines.
he almost lost the best of 5, things like that. So, like, game 1, first series is actually the best time for Kingston, and maybe Bulgarians with a fast-handed arm play or
I like
just lots of
mines.
blacksmith upgrades could really
And
shape it up.
Ethiopians.
We see Mayans and I believe Ethiopians there being picked for Viper. So Ethiopians
Interesting.
recently getting the
'Cause
100 food, 100 gold back in their favor, starting with.
I don't know about
Empire Wars, so
Mayans.
slightly
I
better
think
than
it's just
before,
because of
but if
being a
anyone has watched the
Mesa which is
Redbull
pretty
Wololo events
strong in
previously,
Castle
they know
Age.
how I feel about that civilization. I think it's a trap.
All right, so, you know, it just dawned on me once we obviously conclude this draft.
Hindustanis, I don't know about
Is Riley
that.
going to have to go back up there?
No, I was thinking about that the whole time. He's got other duties. Maybe we can find another
That's funny.
cartographer or something
Yeah.
to go up there.
Well, hey, Magyars, I mean, that's
And
a familiar
Hindustanis.
pick.
I mean, Magyars and Hindustanis, you know what you're going to get with those, right? It's early cavalry pressure. Hindustanis have a lot more options, I think, but Magyars, usually you're opening with the scouts or going into an archer range a little bit later, yeah.
But I mean, as far as like the openings go for Empire Wars, all these civilizations are very different. Viper's gone for 3 archer civilizations, which means he will always tend to open a bit defensive as archers is
Really
slower
chill,
and
man.
more so stronger
Oof.
towards the mid game. So he knows what's coming, like especially picking archer civilizations when you've got Bulgarians in there.
I think that looks like a Soraka stuff.
Excellent pick.
Magical stuff, like a Sheffield one, I think.
Very easy to protect yourself there.
I don't know about
I
that.
also wonder if you're Viper, if you're taking this set a little bit for granted, maybe
Magyars and Vietnamese versus Saracens and Tatars. I definitely like Tatars.
Are you banning maps to hide strategies later? And are you banning
The smile on Viper's face. Damn.
the Shoals ban?
Damn. The smiles on both their faces, it says a lot. Says a lot. Viper is just having fun.
There's a fun conversation, which we will talk about later on. There's a story with Doubt where Doubt lost the series and then later said, I'm never going to hide a strategy again because he wasn't able to use the strategy later on. So it's a really tricky thing, and the level is so high that I think that there's nothing crazy that he's really going to hide. He's going to
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, and the players, we just saw them walk by, so they're making their way to the main stage, and our main stage is incredibly impressive. I know Riley showed it to you for a few seconds there. Our players are going to make their entrance onto said stage, and Kingston, the nerves have to be welling up. Viper, I think the nerves are still there. I don't think you ever quite get over it.
You like
especially with the magnificence of this setup. Even compared to last year, it's even better.
I mean, the energy's got to be addicting, right?
Yeah.
Like we feel it when we're casting. There's a competitive nature to it. That pressure is really what makes the best moments. So, you know, one thing I want to bring up here is just like, if Kingston can use this moment to become a massive star in our game, right? Like there's not too many Mexican high-level players. He comes in here in a last-minute ticket. If he could beat the Viper of all people, what a story that would be.
Even taking a game, I think, would be, that's a good goal.
That's too ambitious. That's too ambitious. I'd wish him the best, but I wouldn't expect him to beat
of course, yeah.
the Viper. No, not yet. Not today. Not today. It's not happening.
Enter the stage. And here he comes right now, Kingston, the legend from Mexico. First time ever playing against the Viper, and it's going to be in the biggest Age of Empires tournament of all time.
Can the loading stop?
3 games at this one in total, of course, but Age of Empires 2 taking the stage right now, and there he is.
That guy.
Looks confident.
Yep.
Yeah, the body language actually looks good for him.
They were both
Kingston 5 combo team. Ooh. Do they all have numbers? I didn't see the back of their t-shirts. All of them.
They have been able to practice, of course, but when you sit in the desk, it is a very different feeling.
And he knows the camera is on him. Deep breaths right there, analyzing his civs once again. And, the Viper is going to be making his way to his office. shortly, and this truly is his office. This is where he thrives. This is where he does his work. The greatest Age of Empires 2 player of
Oh, he's looking directly into the camera. Oh my gosh.
Champion last year.
Oh my gosh.
Here in Heidelberg. The walk of
That's
purpose.
confidence.
Yeah, I mean, what a story was last
He's
year,
like,
right?
I'm right here.
So
He
does have
knows
no
it.
shoes on right
And he
now?
wants you to know he's
like
there.
I said, it's a home office.
He's
You know,
used to
it's
he's
not
used to the waist up Zoom call, you know?
It's not business casual here. I mean, he's very
With
comfortable.
some shoes on. Like, that was such a good intro from us. He's got no shoes. Come on. God. I don't know if he can
He has a smile on his face. I don't know if you can hear
any
these
player that's
people.
going to be comfortable here.
I'm
might as
guessing
well
he
be
does
him,
not.
right? He's been here, done that.
Yeah, he's here to get a win. He doesn't give a crap what he looks like, man. Well, anyways, at this point, you know, I'm sure they have written down what civilizations were on that board in there. Remember, this is very different. You do not have a second tab to pull up on your other monitor. You can't reference that like you normally would, and that's a very important distinction. So they got to think through, where would this civilization be played? Where do I want to counter their best strategy?
Worried. What is it?
He's probably been told something like,
Very
put your shoes
perplexed.
on, and he's
yeah.
it's like, I don't have shoes.
We're just now realizing that
guys.
a castle floor is quite cold.
Yeah. How do I quick wall this coldness from my feet?
He's gonna use his
But
feet
no,
to
I mean,
quick
they're
roll
gonna
on.
be
Come
getting in here
on.
shortly, and Dave, I mean, the map is just an amazing map for Bulgarians, I feel. I mean, Magyars and Hindustanis, all these civilizations can be great, but again, if I could think of a civilization and a map for Kingston to open it up and try and beat Viper in 10 minutes, this is the moment.
Bulgarians have so many tools, man. They have so many tools for that early pressure. Maybe if you're in a stalemate game, they start to run out of those options, right? But you can go for the men-at-arms, archers. I know it's not very common in Empire Wars, but you can go
Still
for
looks great right
scouts
now.
as well.
Yeah, sure.
A good tech tree there. And if you want to make a tech switch with them, the blacksmith is so fast.
Yeah, you can always beat your opponent to the punch, and again, those early fights are going to have to matter so much here. And now, granted, my experience is going to be less relevant than some of the others out here, but considering Viper has never played the guy, I can tell you that Kingston is incredibly smothering off early pressure. And in the event that he doesn't kill you in feudal age, he has an ability to macro behind that pressure and get to castle age a minute, 2 minutes faster to finish you there. So he is a really special talent. Excited for the guy to have this opportunity, obviously, and not sure what he's writing down there, but he's getting ready.
I love the fact that there's probably so many people watching this right now that are saying, who is this guy?
Yeah, exactly.
Who is this guy? And you're going to see a
It's
lot
Kingston,
more from
man.
him, because the last
He qualified up
three
here.
major events we've had in our
He made
community,
it up here.
not even counting
He
the Red Bull
deserved
qualifiers that he
every
did
single bit of
amazing
it.
in. He has had great placements and great results, and he will continue to do so. And he's such a class act. He's a great guy.
So I
and
think he's here because of the extra
without a doubt,
qualifier.
top
I'm
20
not
in the
sure.
world right now, based on other tournaments included as well. So I believe he's proven that, and there's enough examples of it.
Yep.
And that's exciting because we don't have too many people break into that and then also be his age. I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe he's 20 years
Ooh,
old.
is
He's
Viper
20 years
really
old.
gonna play
The
without the
last
glove?
year, he's gone up like
Is that his
300
secret
years on
strategy?
the ladder, and just it gets me.
It's kind of really gonna be interesting what happens here. Like, the statue, it's kind of looking scary to me. But we got this going, we got this going. The Viper from the Norway. Yo.
Highly ranked have never played against each other is insane to me. Not even one ranked game. We asked both of them, by the way. They both said the same thing. So.
I mean, we could have asked Viper, but it's possible Viper
would
wouldn't have
forget.
remembered. He
Yeah,
plays
yeah,
hundreds
yeah.
of games. But going up against the greatest player of all time, like,
You have to know.
Kingston would know. He
He
looked
would
at,
know.
at us with 100% certainty that he had never played him.
Can you imagine getting the call, hey, we need you to fly from Mexico to Germany.
Yeah,
By
today.
the way, and by the way, you're going to play Viper, so have fun.
Damn.
I think
man.
he's just kind of.
That does sound scary.
As with all these players, even Viper.
Sounds
like, he's
really
been here
scary.
Before. He's been at big tournaments before, but you can tell that everyone at this tournament is just kind of soaking it in. They know it's like a once in a lifetime, well, now twice in a lifetime for a couple of us.
Yeah, sure.
Experience, and it is certainly unique. It is very unique.
Regardless of if you've been here before, though, coming to a new place, new environment, a different monitor. Of course, you have your same keyboard and mouse. You've tested settings, but it is a foreign feeling initially.
Well, that's part of the skill of a LAN event.
Yeah.
You have to overcome that. You have to overcome that, and that's part of the experience that comes in with Viper, and we can see our wonderful virtual reality symbols coming up for our civs. The Hindustanis, I believe.
I guess so. I mean, if he's playing Magyars, it's really confusing. So I would imagine he's playing Hindustanis, and the Viper getting ready here. I don't know. Here it's going to be a plumed archer.
Well, the wrist brace.
Showtail warrior. Well, it is possible he can move more freely without.
Is that a civ?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought you were commenting on the fact he didn't have it on. Yeah.
No, we'll see. Both players getting set up here, and
on the
they're just getting used to thing. I'm still waiting for the match link and stuff, you know.
Situation, it's been the same for about like a year and a half now, so things have not worsened, which is great to hear, and I think things have been pretty good based on not only how he did it the last Redbull Wololo, but what he's done since.
He sounds more confident when he talks about it.
Yeah. He's certainly been playing amazing. Thank you everyone for tuning in. It's been so cool to see so many people here already. Obviously, you guys need to give yourselves a big pat in the back because you are here on day one. First hour still, I think. So many people, I'm sure, are working hard at work.
We're all waiting for this. Come on, we got this.
With us at the moment, and other people, you know, might be staying up late over the next couple days. You know, whatever sacrifice you make to be here to watch Age of Empires, we're going to make sure it's worth it for you.
Yep, and tell all your friends. If you used to play Age of Empires with a friend 10 years ago, you haven't talked to them in 10 years, make sure you send them the link.
Yeah.
It's very useful. We want to get as many new people in here as possible. And what better setting to get new people in? And there's the unique unit.
That is true. That is so true.
That's a Keshik.
Also, the unit receives a little bit of gold when they raid, and apparently that just plates their armor.
It looks beautiful, doesn't it?
It does look really good.
Man, I want to.
Oh, he speaks Tatars then. That's interesting.
Like, yo, you're making our graphics look bad. Like, stop making our graphics look bad, okay?
Exactly. It is so cool. I was so excited to see that when they mentioned it at first.
Yeah.
And it's a really nice addition. One of the many additions that they've made. The production team here is astounding, as you guys are going to see throughout this next. What is it? We have over a week. I guess a week and 2 days of content for Redbull Wololo Legacy.
That is
some
true.
of it Age of Empires 2, obviously.
A lot of
other games
content
in the mix as well.
Oh.
And Viper.
Who was that?
Just getting a little bit of assistance there, and Kingston getting the last little bit of nerves out of the way.
Yeah, probably hopped in there. Plays like your opening maybe. Do your opening like 10 different times if they don't say you're ready to go yet. And you know, test every little kink you can. But Hindustanis, man, I mean,
because we're gonna play Outcrop.
I
so
think we can find the game.
Civilization. He knows he's probably coming up against Tatars. Like, you look at that Civ matchup.
You just know it's Tatars.
You know it's Tatars on Outcrop.
Yep.
So
he did also ban the Gurjaras and the Britons, two other heavy sheep-focused civilizations on that map, but he didn't pick one up himself. But look at this. We're getting ready, folks. We are getting ready.
Oh, he looks like he means business. Look at that.
I can find it.
It's like an advertisement.
He looks really cool.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how nerdy we would look?
How do you do that, by the way? And we can see our rating here. Obviously, we look at Viper 7 out of 10 strategy. That was the key. You know, when we were really analyzing that.
Could not change it.
I mean, one tournament a strategist does not make.
It's not good enough.
Exactly.
No, I think,
exactly.
Yeah, he hasn't proven enough.
But all the other stats are maxed out. It's looking at like my Tony Hawk character back in the day.
Yo, let's
He's gonna be really annoyed with the strategy on 7 now.
Obviously experienced a 3 out of 10. I mean, all of his tournament experience basically comes in the last 6 months in big matches.
The big ones. The big ones,
and he's never been to a LAN before. So we have the micro and the macro up there. He's a very fast player. Strategy 7 out of 10 as well. I mean, we're kind of looking at the qualifiers. He had some great strats, some great builds, and that's what we're taking off. It's just a limited sample size.
Yeah, exactly. And truly, like, if you look at the talents we have now, like Hera or Leary, for example, 3 years ago, we would have lowered their experience, lowered their strategy, but we would have had their micro, macro speed very high. So for someone like him, again, first big stage experience, we'll get to see what his true potential could be, but it's a great starting point of what will be a great career.
This stat thing is crazy though. Like, yeah, it's one of the best things in RBW. I think they've shown this stat. The game started. Let's go to the game. Hold on. Wait a minute, can I hear the green sound? Oh, it's gonna be alright, right? I hope we can miss them. Are we live? Okay, I'm creating in here. Check how much of this food. Let's see, it's Tatars versus Hindustanis. I think full wall for Viper, which is great. Tatars being full. Oh, he has a hole. I hope he can see it. I mean, yeah, he definitely sees it with the sheep. But I need to figure out this thing where I can. One sec. 425, 420. Oh, okay. I'm like 10 seconds behind. Okay. Pause it for a bit. Okay. So I didn't capture it on, which is great. I hope. Now I need to move my face away. Let me see. I hope this stream's okay. Anyone can make sure like they're hearing everything and I really need to focus on the game because there's a lot of acting going on and I can't really keep up. But Kingstone's gone for an Archer opening as a Hindustanis. Viper's already up. I don't think he's made too much army. He has a scout right now. But Kingstone has actually found 1 kill on a villager, which is sweet. A little bit of archer fight going on, which is interesting. Oh. I'll have to do something about the sound issue because obviously I can't do game sound using this. There is something, why can't I hear it? Oh, because now I can hear it. Okay. Good. Alright. Kingston has a TC on Stone, which is good. He's at Army. I think that's how he took the control. And looking at the KD, Viper does have a good KD right now. I think that's mostly because he's killed the archers right now. I think his whole transition would still be CA. Like, CA on this map is crazy. Tatars, man. Crazy good. 2 months, he's probably going for relics right away. How many relics are there on the map? There's 1, 2, 3. I see 4. I don't see the 5th one right now. Did anyone pick it up? Yep. Viper has picked up the relic already, which is great. I mean, his TC is going up. It is up. It's on goal. It's a pretty safe TC. He also has photo on it. A market going off for Kingston right now. I don't really know if he's doing that just to sell resources or for something else, because I mean that's the only reason you'd want to use it right now, because you can't just sell it to go up to him. That'll be really bad. Will count still very similar, 66 to 64, but I think Kingston's TC went up faster a bit. That's why. So idle TC, it's higher for Viper. Not many times I've seen Viper having a higher idle TC unless he's doing all their shit. But I mean, here we are. Lumber camp efficiency, it's pretty good for both of them, I guess. It's not too bad, not too bad. Let's see. Single CA just trying to clean up. Oh, he's only one CA. That's not good, man. Just skirms out here for Kingston trying to defend right now. I think just Tatar's having a free thumb ring, the attack bonus on kills, it's really strong to like get rid of. Like, I don't really know, like, do you wanna go full skirms to defend that? Because I mean, even though it'll be slightly defensive, you'll still need to come with a good plan. I mean, camels are great. Sunnies are great. If they even touch these Tatars, so yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll just melt them right away. But I think Kingston's also building a castle. Doesn't mean luck coming through. They have really good stats, even though they got nerfed. I think they're still really decent. 88 to 81. It's basically because of the TC timings, I'm sure. Viper's actually idling a lot. He does have 35 on food. There's not a lot of aggressive action going on though. Viper keeps losing a CA. He has 60 on the field right now. One is like no HP. The one which might even die. Gulan alone is chasing 2C. Yeah, I don't really know. What? Oh, 4 TCs for both, no? Or does it include a castle? Because I see 4 TCs for Kingston, but not Viper, but not for Kingston, so I guess that includes... No, wait, never mind. There are 2 TCs. I see. I'm blind, don't blame me. But yeah. This knife should be really useful here right now. I'm actually just gonna turn off the camera for now. It's not helping me. I can't really sit properly for the camera. Time to go hide. See ya. A lot of gold arms. There's 5, and then he's also making some camels, which is pretty decent. Like, they'll be able to catch up with the mobility even Gulams are, I think they're decent, like probably as fast as Eagle Scouts, if not faster. I don't know how they are after what's the tech called? Oh my gosh, I forgot the tag! I forgot the tag, the infantry speed. Oh my gosh, what am I doing there? I think it's it's not Cabby. Okay, forget it. Capture Ace looks actually really good though. Looks beautiful. Oh, come on. Scorpions. Okay. I mean, Kingston definitely has the advantage here right now. The thing is how he's gonna take the fight and how Vipers take down the Scorpions is gonna matter a lot. Like, he's gonna have to... But Viper's actually taking the fight really well here. Krebs. Ooh, those houses and that's really smart from Kingston. And I mean, Viper, even if he had 4 PCs, Kingston's been able to match it. Like, I mean, both of them have 4 PCs. I keep forgetting it. Viper's up. He gets another thing for you up. Is it parts and tactics? Yeah, he gets parts and tactics free here, which gives this the extra. I think armor and damage versus spearmen, but yeah. Obviously no spearmen here, but camels. I mean, some armor's definitely efficient there. But those traps, 2 traps right now. Viper trying to take on the other side, which is completely empty. Kingston has not even tried to scout it lately, I think. Or he might have just assumed. The score looks really good for Viper here. The score is not seen, but it's 4,000 for Viper and 3,600 for Kingston right now. Almost like a full 4K score lead at least. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Sounds... Stop. Okay. I mean, I think I'm behind in game. I'm trying to speed it up, but it's not working. How can I be so far behind the game? Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to play it at full speed, but yeah, I'm not able to catch up somehow. Anywho, I still can't remember. Ooh, fun fact. Qatars have a 92.3% win rate. Oh, that's really high. The way this game's going, I mean, Kingston is trying to defend very well, but I mean, yeah, Hobbiters and Sia, that's gonna be a really impossible combo to deal with. Viper is almost fully upgraded Sia. Wait, he's getting heavy Cia as well right now. Doesn't have it till now, but he's about to get it. Uh-oh. That's a good surround by Kingstones, but he's still gonna lose a lot of his camels. Like, I don't think Viper can defend. Like, he's just constantly attacking, and camels can't even touch CA. Look at the kid. So good. It's 105 versus... And like, Viper should not really worry about castles going down. Not that much at least, because he's not making unique unit. But Viper's actually losing a lot of army here. This is not looking good for him. These... are they trying to do us wrong? Where exactly are they trying to go? The army count is starting to turn into Kingston share completely. It's like 25 army to 40 army right now. Out of 40, 20 are camels. I think the rest are lumps. For Viper, it's mostly hubs and 6 CA is pretty bad. I think he's starting to transition into scouts. I don't know what exact unit is making right now. It's no Steplands, right? It can't be Steplands. Oh, he is going to the unique unit. He's gonna go Keshiks. But I don't really know how well they do versus camels. They're really good against range units, but going elite with that Viper, I don't. Well, say hi to the train. Thank you, train. You can go, you can leave. It's time for you to go. God, the feed. I'm not enjoying the next. We keep missing a lot of stuff here, you know, like just because of this, but like I think Kingston's giving a really good fight here. Viper really needs to think of a good plan. He is going full Keshiks or not. I think he's still back to CA. I mean, Keshiks, I still don't understand why he took the elite upgrade there. Is it to raid? What is it for? He has 4 castles right now. Kingston has 2, even though he is making unique units constantly. And those unique units are like not easy to kill. They have a lot of armor and pierce armor. They have decent HP. The movement speed is pretty fast. They are like your Indian version of Huskals. Right now, I would say like it's still a 50-50. The score, I think, it's hidden. The score's hidden. I wish I could see it, but like my actual game is a bit far behind and I can't see it on the feed. Anywho. Viper's starting to mass the sea, and like once those sea are mass, the start, it becomes really difficult to kill them. Like they're gonna start shredding camels, and then it won't be a problem. They can just take a fight on. Well, the castle is going up though. The kitty is still looking good for Kingston now. Like, I mean, it was 50 to 100 at one point, but now it's 230 to 200, which is great. Viper's trying to raid with those kishes, fully upgraded kishes. They're just generating some gold as well, I think. Relic counts also in favor of Viper. Viper, not the Viper. Viper. So I think gold's never gonna be a problem. Yeah, this PMS, it doesn't seem to go down. Like, he's losing some, he lost some, it's still a big number. I think there's still like 30 plus in there, and he's making more. He's definitely reinforcing it. It's a good hill fight. The army numbers not looking so good for Kingston anymore. He's giving Viper a really tough fight, but I think he's starting to suddenly lose his foot. Viper's gonna trap this castle down for sure. That's a lot of villages and gold. I don't think you can have gold in the center much, so you'll have this side, and once you start losing this side, you'll run out of gold, and then you won't have enough units. Because you don't have gold, you have to sell as much as you can. Wally? Interesting, just from the raids, I guess. Like, what's going on here is simple. Viper just wants to slow his game down, keep that trapping down, and what Kingston wants to do is try to take out this 3 army, but I think, yeah, oh, GG's call. GG's call, but it was a really good game here. Really good game here. I wanna hear your thoughts. Wait for me. Wait for me. Oh, really? See them? I mean, it's just game 1. Game 2 is gonna be Kingston's home now, most likely, and that is Morass. And I think he has a lot of civs left, actually. Like, I think picking that many civs for 3 rounds, I think that's a bit too much, right? But I mean, gives them more flexibility and stuff. I wouldn't say they use their best as big Kingston had in the starting of the plan, but I don't think he was able to utilize it completely. Can't remember the civs anymore. I know it's Magyars, Vietnamese. Oh, there it is. Oh shit, yeah. Bulgarians, Magyars, Vietnamese. Gosh, what's the lag for? God, what's... Can't wish me. Hello? Huh? Oh yeah, no commentary sound. Oops, I forgot.
In this entire game. I think he wins.
Is that what happened? I lost my headphones. Damn it!
On this map, and ideally you take control with the military, maybe some forward towers, some spears, some scouts. Scouts, in my opinion, are the best on this. But you take control and you keep moving and rotating around that circle in the middle. Also, we have to point out, folks, that in all of our years as casters here for Age of Empires 2, I think Tristan will agree with me, I have never seen a more secretive meta developing. The players will not talk about it.
It's that, but also, like, everything was very quiet the last few weeks.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
You know, there was
like, we thought no one was practicing, and then we get here, and people are telling us, like, Leary's the most practiced player, and we're like, what?
Yeah, right, exactly. You know, and it was interesting as well, like, players were practicing against each other, and there were instances where I noticed, I didn't ask, but I noticed that certain players only trained with one or two. They didn't want to train with some of the others in the room, so... I mean, again, you had so many different ways to qualify for this event. We had the previous winners. We had winners of other big events over the past year, which was a really unique way of getting people here. And then, of course, the qualifiers. But I think this game is the best opportunity for Kingston. It's his home map choice. I'm assuming it's Bulgarians. Wait, does that mean we get to see a Conic then? Are they going to do this for every single Civ?
I think that's the plan.
Okay.
I mean, maybe they didn't. Maybe for something like Goss, they didn't even bother making us scrolling. Do we need this one? Nah, let's save the budget.
Lions, it is.
That's true, actually.
That plumed archer, that looks
Okay, that
really
is way more
buffed.
buff than the plumed
Dude,
archer.
that plumed archer is ready to rumble. Oh my goodness, that's like a bouncer at the plumed archer club.
Seriously.
Holy.
Wow. He does, like, when plumed archers
He
run,
just rolls up in like a Fred Flintstone car.
Totally.
Yeah.
Can they, like, make me look like that? Do they have the possibility of
There's
that?
no technology in the world that can make you.
Yeah, that's probably true. That was really deep. That cut so deep. That hurt. But it's okay. We're moving on anyways. There's going to be a Conic here, I assume. Watch the Conic be like the most frail, weak individual you've ever seen in your life.
Oh man, I'm expecting big things from that Conic. 100%. Kingston, well, we're expecting big things from him here on his home map. He's looking focused once again. I think, like we said, that was a good first game. And especially, you know, when you got the nerves rolling, you start to look at things like idle TC time. 3 or 4 or 5 minutes into that game, he had like 13 seconds of idle TC time. So the macro was there.
Yeah, mechanics are super solid.
Yeah.
It was just Viper was, you know, it was an interesting game where I think they had a max of like 10 units in Castle Age for a while, and Viper did so much more with his, and here we are. And this is Arabia, which would have then been Kingston's choice if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, this was Viper's home map. You could choose either, and we've got Magyars for Kingston.
Interesting.
And we've got Viper as the Mayans. Do not forget about the Shorefish conversation unless Kingston wins this game.
Yeah, it's very interesting that we're going to Arabia here. But Magyars, I mean, one of the best Empire Wars civs. And it's Arabia, so we don't really need to talk about the type of map. Everyone knows this one. It's an absolute classic, even for Empire Wars. And we've got scouts coming in here with skirms behind from Kingston. So lots of food being spent on this army composition. And meanwhile, for
Alright, we're
Viper
back
with the
to our
mines,
own stream. I just hope it doesn't lag again. Looking good till now. I think obviously a scout opening for Kingston makes more sense. Kingston, not Kingston. Keep calling him Kingston. I mean, I don't know if that's how he's asked to pronounce it. Why is it lagging so much? Tilt me. No. I don't know why. It's like so bad. I hope it shouldn't, but oh, double archery for Viper. Oh, almost a hole. Is there a hole? No. Quick wall. I think Viper, if he took the fight, he would have lost. Okay, there are some scars, but he's gonna lose. King, he's waiting for the armor. Once he gets armor, I think he'll be able to do some good damage. But like, I think if there's some spears mixed in those, that could be really annoying. Those skirms, they're trying to put pressure. But like, once Viper's full, everything's gonna be alright. Hopefully. Yeah, he's gonna be walled in a second. He's walled. I mean, it is open on the other side. This map is not the perfect one for Viper to wall up and stuff, but obviously he'll keep trying, he'll start doing stuff. Starting to wall now. Kingstone's not even trying to check it though anymore. Oh, we got the score fixed this time. Let's go. And a market. Who's looking still good for Kingstone? He's got 18 on full right now. Viper has too much on gold, but I think he's just gonna sell that, go up. You can literally sell all of that right now and instantly pick up. Kingstone will have to wait for food. I don't think he has a market either right now.
Shot it.
They actually clicked recent, like, that Kingston had to use his resource. I'm sure Viper also sold his gold first, so it might be more of an advantage for him as well. TCL time, both have 1 minute TCL time, which is similar, which is kind of okay in Empire Wars because you might want to have the food for some upgrades, the army, and all that. So it's not that big of a deal compared to a random map anyway. But yeah, I mean, Viper defended. Oh my gosh, Viper defended pretty well. He did lose a villager again, twice now, twice. I think Viper starts with an extra villager, or does he not? I'm not sure. I mean, %70% win rate with Mayans? Only 22. I mean, you'll have to see who he plays versus as well, right? Because he's definitely had a great record with probably every save against other people than like the top 10. So I don't know how many games were played against the top 10 in there. Most likely, Viper's plan is just to go full archers, add a few pikemen as well, not spears. I mean, they'll be upgraded, you know. Oh, and Siege, he's not even opting for a second TC. Oh no, he has 3 TCs, but he has enough wood to make the Siege as well. That is really interesting. Meanwhile, Kingston will have to play defensive with skirms and knights. I am yawning right now. Kingston managed to clear all those crossbows, which is interesting because that might give him some like control. Because like I think Viper was trying to go for forward siege, but now he cannot because he doesn't have the army to control it anymore. But he's still trying to raid a little bit at the back of Kingstone's way. Oh, he might lose a lot of villagers here. This is good, this is good, this is good. So he has to keep his knights back. Just defend it for now, but yeah, I think he'll be behind in Eco 5 villagers. Still not that big of a difference. Still not that big of a difference. But 10 villagers installed just because Kingstone's still on 1 TC. Does he even have siege? Not really. I think like 2 minutes more if he doesn't put down TCs.
Got it.
I think it's too late for the siege workshop now though. I think Viper will be up before siege does any damage to him. University already for Viper. And that's probably for ballistics. No ballistics, but if they have ballistics already, that would have been only 2 kills there. Like it's just 0 kills for now. Is anybody building? It seems like nobody is. That is weird. Lag again. Right, just what I expected. Viper still doesn't have a lot of food right now. He's still only got like 16 food, just enough to produce villagers, but the villagers count's pretty good, like 20 villagers ahead. So as long as he keeps those rails working, he still has a good chance. But yeah, the mangonels, they're gonna be a big problem for Viper right now. Because Viper doesn't have any kind of egos or some mobility to clear the mango out right now. And one shot, it was all yeah, basically. But can Viper manage to defend it? Or I don't think there's an or. You know some. Actually, that's such a beautiful shot, man. I don't know how I managed to pull that off, but it was pretty good. Look at the KD now. How many wells? How many kills were there when that happened?
Got it.
It looks like a good spawn. Moves are gonna be really interesting. That is the mobility Viper wants. But yeah, mangonels are still gonna be really threatening to the plumes.
Shot it. Shot it.
Oh, not the buffering. Kingston is still 1 TC, I think. Well, he does have the 3 TCs, but I think 60 to 100 is starting to look really bad. Neither of them have the resources to go up anytime soon. I'll be back in a second. Wait a minute, what did I miss? What did I miss? I think it's lagging so much, I might as well just use the original feed. But yeah, I mean, oh, good shot. I think Kingston really likes. I mean, he might be able to clear these stones, but there's not a lot of them. And depending on how many Kingston loses this, he might be able to defend. Like, that might be a good cleanup for him. Are they both completely committed? Castle Age? As I mean, if this stays in Castle Age, Viper definitely has the upper hand, but Kingston will start reaching his potential. And I think, like, without the gold, Mines will struggle a little bit. You know, they have halves, they can play on defense with that. Sperms are really strong. But I don't think the game's gonna have to go that long. Viper's really critical. I didn't expect this to be such a whitewash. I think Kingston might as well call it after that fight. Like, what does he have left? 5 light cap, 1 knight, 1 mangonel? Oh boy. That's not enough. Wait, that's 8 knights and 1 light cap. And Viper's trying to put on the pressure with this moves, not even the siege right now. Does have a mangonel, but that's just cleaning up the monastery, which is far behind.
Shot it.
That's a lot of light cavalry. Can they actually meet up? No, I don't think so. Lag happens again. But Viper's actually picked up a very he's up already. I'm actually falling asleep to this game. I don't know why. I think I was up late already. Probably that, yeah. But now Kingston is starting to just toss it, try to go back up. But I don't think that's gonna do much when Viper can just rev him down almost right away. Kingston is up though, I think with the use of market maybe. He's just making a lot of Leica right now. Now Mugger Leica, they do have the instant attack upgrade, but can they actually match the number of clones? Let alone the number, you can like 30 light cap kill like 40 plumes. I don't really think so. Because if plumes keep hiding, they can definitely shred those light cap. Don't have a lot of pierce armor.
Got it.
The lead plumes coming in for Viper. Oh my gosh, score is not looking good for Kingston here. He's like 2k behind right now, and that's mostly from all the damage he's taken, and he keeps losing his army. He's not been able to mass his army. Not that he wants to, but he needs to whittle down Viper's army slowly. And Viper just takes a set 2-0, and I think he had his glass of water. I think there's a lot of skipping on this stream. Oh, it's kind of nice. Oh, what mouse is that? Very nice. I hope there's gonna be some injuries. I mean, during group stage, there's like so many games for the injuries, so I don't even know. They'll do it or not. Why?
He played really well. This is actually the first time I ever play him, funnily enough, which is not often in Age of Empires 2. But yeah, I took a very safe approach, I felt like, but his aggression really, especially second game, his aggression was a bit tricky to deal with. Yeah, I'm impressed with his play, and I think he has decent chances going forward as well.
I think, you know, it's fair to say that you were tested pretty meaningfully by Kingston in both of those games. So let's talk about maybe a different aspect that you bring to this. You know, certainly not your strategy, your experience. You know, look at this guy. I mean, we described it before. It looks like you're about to get a Zoom call. Talk us through your headspace at the moment. You're not new to these tournaments. You've been to these before. Does that help you in addressing unexpected pressure, feeling relaxed, feeling confident?
It goes without saying, like for Kingston, for example, now this is his first time ever at the LAN event.
So I think a lot of people are anticipating you are the favourite in this tournament.
Times now, so probably the nerves are a bit harder for him to deal with. Yeah, experience goes by saying the more you do this, the more you get used to it, and I feel like I'm pretty used to it by now.
Yeah, well, I mean, certainly, you know, as a Red Bull champion here, these are paths you've walked before, but the weight of pressure, it's got to be on you. You've got to be feeling that, you know, we've discussed that some of these newer players, these more unfamiliar players, they've got nothing to lose, right? But you have come here with hordes of fans, with people expecting a lot of you. How do you deal with that?
I don't know. I've had it like this for years already, so it's like it's not really something that bothers me. Obviously, I want to do well. I want to make those that support me happy by doing well. But yeah, I don't feel like it's necessarily extra pressure. If there's any pressure, it's the pressure I put on myself.
Yeah, well, look, you've come and you've played your natural game. You've weathered the storm. Congratulations. A good win for you, Vipey. Well done, dude.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to head through to our other room here and get the perspective of some of the other casters. We were all in the back watching these matches very, very closely indeed, sort of swapping between our A stream and B stream as we kept an eye on other heroes like Leary. But right now, I want to bring Nilly in here and have a chat to him about some of what we've just seen. you know, I've just chatted to Viper about how he did feel meaningfully pressured by Kingston. Kingston, I think, full credit to this bloke who has come here hungry, ready to go. And I know that there are a couple of moments that stood out to you as being particularly important or instructive in this game. So talk us through some of your highlights here.
Yeah, and we actually start before we go into the actual game. I want to go back and talk about the map draft and the shift draft, because we are going to see the Viper going to pick Arabia, which is basically the standard map in all of Age of Empires, and that's simply saying, I am the better player, I know, okay, I am feeling confident, and if we go to a normal macro game, that's where I will win, and that just showed so much confidence.
I think something that's, you know, if we've got newer people joining us today, again, welcome, by all means, welcome. It's a good idea to kind of phrase Arabia, give people a sense of what we're looking at here with the Arabia pick. This is Final Destination in Smash. This is Dust, Rust, what is it in CS?
Dust.
There you go. Yeah, that's right. So the Arabia pick here says, look, when we're turning items off, when we're going basically like default standard Age of Empires, no frills, that shows a lot of confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. And we need to go back in this one again. We just skipped something that I think is really, really interesting in how we draft civs. As you all know, we draft maps before, and then we draft civilizations. So basically, you can get an idea, okay, what is my opponent going for? We had Moraz as the home map of Kingston. Viper went for Arabia, and now we got into the Civ draft, right? And we are taking a look at this one again. We had Bulgarians as the opener, thinking, okay, that is going for Moraz. And now Viper sees, okay, we are having new civs coming in there, and we saw Hindustanis. So maybe we can take a look at the draft again as the whole thing, and then see how Viper can adjust to that. Because at that very moment, okay, we will skip that. We can just go into game number 1 then and see the Viper. He's on the way to Castle Age right now, and now he's getting all the upgrades, as we can see. Gold, wood, farm. He's now getting fletching, while we saw the upgrades already earlier from our Mexican player, Kingston here. Viper then identified, okay, we are going for a lot of CA, now goes for ballistics. And what I want to point out here, look at that, we had 111 villagers. Kingston's idle TC time 1 minute. So basically no idle time there at all. Absolutely beautiful play. Halberdiers now not perfectly positioned, and CAs actually dying here quite heavily. We are, well, doing our very best job to microwave, but as we all know, the damage output is just absolutely crazy, and Viper struggled to get onto the numbers, but in the end, reigned supreme. We had massive amount of villagers on gold there for Kingston in the end, and I want to show you the face of Viper once he wins there, because that was a tough game, and he was not really happy, had the head shake there, that was like nice move after nice move, but that one was tougher than he thought, surely.
Yeah, you mentioned, I mean, you know Viper very well, obviously, you know, as part of the GL testing team. You've known this bloke for years, and you probably can offer some insight into his psychology. You mentioned, you know, he probably isn't happy with the performance that he put 100%, because, but then again, look, we've got to give credit to Kingston for that. We've got to give credit to the bloke who was turned up, fresh as a daisy, ready to go, hungry, fire in his belly, to contest someone who is arguably the greatest player Age of Empires has ever seen. Yeah. So full credit to Kingston. The scoreline, in my view, 2-0, it doesn't reflect the gameplay that we saw there.
Especially at game 1, right? Yeah. We were deep in it. It was pop 200 against pop 150. Viper could have easily fallen there. So I thought he was scared, and he gave a lot of credit to Kingston, right? Sees him as a contender to maybe even go through into the quarterfinals.
Worth reminding people, of course, that Kingston may be down, but he certainly is not out nearly. 2 wins means you make it through the quarterfinals. Viper already well on his way there, but with only 1 loss to Kingston's name, he's still got a chance. If he can rally from this one, string together 2 wins in a tiebreaker or a deciding match, something like that, he could be on his way to the quarters as well. Full credit to the bloke for getting it done against the Viper in the way that he did, even if ultimately, of course, the Viper was victorious. That is that. Nelly, thank you very much for your insight. I believe right now we're going to take a quick break, get things set up for our next match. So stay with us, everyone, because we'll be back live with more Age of Empires live from Heidelberg Castle in just a few moments. Yeah, sorry, I talked over the drop.
My name is Ørjan Larsen. I'm known as the Viper and I'm from Norway. It's obviously a little bit more convenient to be invited directly because I don't have to go through the troubles of qualifying and potentially missing out throughout the qualifier. So for me it's a perfect entrance, a little bit more relaxed. I can take a bit of a cooler first couple of months and then intensify the training as the weeks approach the tournament. So my preparation for the tournament has been a boot camp with the GL team members. So all of us went to Berlin, we stayed together in the GL gaming house for roughly 2 weeks. We had some physiotherapists visit us as well and just bounce ideas of each other non-stop. My most feared opponent actually might be one of my teammates because they will know everything I want to do, so they will be prepared for everything. Maybe they'll find a way to counter it. But from pure skill, probably Leary and Hera. Fun enough, I probably also feel most confident against my teammates because I know them as well and can come up with ways to counter them.
That was pretty fun. It was short, but this is really good.
Amazing first set. I mean, Kingston unfortunately going down there for his chances, but he has another shot like Riley said, and Viper, the expected winner, goes through. After some nervous moments, we have another amazing set coming up to you after this.
Ooh,
So
it's
many
gonna be
sets,
Degao
in
versus
addition to
Doubt.
the B-stream.
These
Yeah,
are
in
two
addition to the
old
B-stream
players.
that is going on at twitch.tv/Lily_AOE. So if some of your favorite players are over there, make sure you give them a look. Upcoming. What do we have?
Delt Dogao.
That's crazy.
It's an awesome series.
Yeah.
I mean, Viper was just talking about how well prepared his teammates are, and Dogao, another one who got the call a couple days ago and had flown in here. But I was talking to him last night. He talked about his opponent. He talked about who he could possibly face if he were to win or lose, and he said, "This is a great opportunity for me." I mean, there's obviously there's stars here, of course, but he really feels like he can beat the players he's going to be up against.
Yep, and we're going to get some more information here from Riley.
It's gonna be really fun to watch Doubt again. Oh
about this
boy.
upcoming matchup.
I'm really not sure why being the resident Australian is something that I'm being credited with, but look, I'll take it. Certainly as we move in Age of Empires 4, that position is going to be challenged. But look, it's my great pleasure to welcome you back to the caster chamber here, Friday night again, the host throughout this entire event. What a pleasure it is to have your company here live in Heidelberg Castle, an incredible backdrop for an incredible tournament. And we are heading in now to our second game. Group A here, match number 2 coming your way very shortly. The players getting ready. And let's have a look at where things stand right now. Again, very early days. You can see with our group so far, Viper right at the top, Kingston falling down to the bottom, but a lot of Age of Empires left to play before we have a better picture of how this one's going to shake itself out. We might be able to have a look at Group B as well. I was able to catch up with those players very briefly, and I can tell you that even if we don't look at the standings here, I can tell you that Leary did get up against Daniel. There was a very hard-fought contest, and maybe
Leary and Hera in the same group. That's interesting.
Or indeed, you might have been watching it over on the B stream, twitch.tv/Nilly_AOE for our B stream there if you want to get across that. But for the rest of the day, let's have a look at our schedule and see what we're going to be checking in with here in our A stream.
It's going to be a long day.
Of course, our match between Kingston
Not too long. The first game it took like an hour, but
in the books, as you can see. That score
still going to be a
is
super
not
long
correct,
day.
there between Degao and Doubt. That is still to play. We are going to get into that very, very shortly indeed. And I know fans of the Lord, long may he reign, around the world, we're very, very, very excited to see the big Serbian getting amongst it, maybe feeding Degao the ones and the twos in the war room before very long. So we do, if you'll stick around. After that, of course, we've got Kapoch and Velese. That's coming up on our main stream. And to round things out for our main matches here, MBL versus Jordan. Before we get into the winners matches from Group B, you can see those TBD slots just down here.
Oh, MBL versus Jordan is going to be a big one. I don't know who to choose, but that's like AM versus Real, but at the same time, it's MBL. MBL is like one of my favorites. Always will be.
Elimination and decider matches. So, plenty of action coming your way, my friends. And once we are ready to head over to our map room, and I do want to say, I do want to say a very heartfelt thanks to Dave at this point. It was a labour of love to go through and put all of those. I didn't want to put the nomadic civilizations on the map. I did my best, but look, I'm very, very happy to take people's criticism and feedback into account. But what an innovation our map room is, and I can't wait to get back over there once again. I believe the players are ready to go. I'm going to chuck it back over to Dave and T90 to walk us through our very next draft.
All right, well, it's time to find out what these guys are going to have in store for us. You know, with Dogao and Doubt, I think we could have different levels of preparation. And so for that reason, just predictions before we get into the draft room, I think Dogao's going to go as standard as possible. Doubt might try and switch it up.
Yeah, I think Dogao had a lot of questions on whether he would be here in the first place. I mean, surprise for him to be here in some sense. And Doubt has been at the GL house practicing
2 weeks.
This entire time. And so we expect big things from the Lord, as we always do. If he manages to get wins as big as himself, then maybe
he's a big dude.
He is the resident barbarian, I think, here in our castle in Germany. And well, we looked at the matchup beforehand, right, Tristan? Between Dogao and Doubt. We knew there was a history there. They haven't actually played as many games as I thought. I think it's 7-1-3 in favor of Doubt, that one being a draw. And they have matched up, though. I think the first time was in like 2010.
Yeah, I mean, to only have that low of a record, having known each other for 12 years, is really surprising, actually. It's almost like they somehow avoided each other all these years. But yeah, I mean, I think more so recently, Dogao's had the slight edge if you say from 2019 to 2022. Because
but in big events, Doubt has the edge.
That's true. That's true. So the higher the stage, you know, maybe you lean towards Doubt, but if it's more recent, maybe
really
Dogao. So it makes it for a very
interesting.
interesting series. Again, I'm excited to see what these two do. Also, I feel like it's just going to be a comical pair in this room, in this draft room, the draft chamber, excuse me.
They both kind of share that old school, old guy mentality for AOE. They're like, the new stuff.
For sure. I mean, you have the nerds, you know, the players, even the play styles. You expect the early aggression and the crazy micro. These guys are a bit more laid back, and you know, they play the game for what it is, and always tend to play late game.
Yep. And Dogao, very solid macro player. He's got the micro to compete with the best. Doubt, extremely good macro player. His micro can compete with the rest, I suppose.
It's underrated. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's something. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's surely not overrated, I think would be fair to say.
That's fair.
But Doubt is a crazy competitor, a Red Bull Wololo 3 champion.
Wow.
We're expecting huge things from him. We know he's been brewing strategies with the GL teammates, and we hope those strategies will actually pay off. We might see that in the draft for a best of 3, even though it's an early round and usually they hide their strategies.
Yeah.
You had that quote from Doubt earlier saying he's never going to hide a strategy again.
Not.
So we might see that right off the bat.
You know, and the other thing too is as we talk about hiding strategies, the other question is, can you really have a hidden strategy for every map? So I think what you can have is you can have, let's say, 6 maps you really want to play.
It's gonna be yours as well.
Or maybe 2 of them, particularly the ones with water. I think that's when you can start to craft and specialize
the fast castle
strategies.
Maps, I think,
that as well.
key.
That as well.
Any feudal aggression maps, I mean, there's only so
Proclivity,
much you can do, right?
Yeah, sure.
But the fast castle maps, you can get incredibly tricky. We know Doubt loves to have that market. I would be surprised if we ever have a game without Doubt with the market, and we should be getting into the draft shortly.
Yeah, so another thing to bring up, especially having played games with Dogao, and this could be why recently, you know, the bigger the stage, the more he struggled, because big stage events have drafts, have very complex drafts these days, and that is a weakness for Dogao. He can see the game a bit more for what it might have used to be.
You know what I have? I have an idea.
Actually, not only just him, but his teammates, particularly Viper.
I have a little idea. So while we do this, what we can also do. I mean, it's gonna take too long. Oh, I don't know. But I mean, I was really excited for this. I mean, I still am. I'm not saying I'm less excited, but I feel tired right now. Scary. Why does it get paused every time? Every single time. I like the Civ sound, it's pretty interesting. It's better this way, I guess. But I guess there's always gonna be a buffering issue, which I don't like. But I mean, what can I do? What can anyone do here? Ooh. Is that the Wololo trophy? Ooh. Doughty, looking good, Doughty.
And then we're going to go to a pick for both players, and then it is ban until there is just one civilization map remaining.
And
they both look similar.
Right there. I can't see it quite,
the faces,
but,
the facial hair, the hairstyle even.
That's exactly like that
the
is
glasses
the bread
are
and butter.
different.
That is the bread and butter Age of Empires 2 map, and so again, he definitely doesn't want any surprises. And he then bans. I think this is a lovely draft for him so far. Morass is super aggressive, and then
Cav Archer map.
Yeah, and then the next one, and then get the boomy Cav Archer map.
That's a market
Classic, especially seeing how good Viper played that, because you've got to know that the approach in general is going to be similar for Gamer Legion players.
Acclivity being banned now from Doubt.
That's
another Cav Archer map right there, though.
Well, any map could be a Cav Archer map with Doubt, I suppose,
true.
but
Northern Isles.
I really
Is he looking at the guns?
I feel like Aztecs will dominate Acclivity. I kind of hope we see it. I think that'd be sick someday, so.
Kawasan is gone, and Dogao is making his next ban here. Looks like it's going to be, is that?
Atacama, and then Bull.
Atacama and Bull. Oh, man, Bull is being banned.
I want to see
so excited for Bull.
What a loser.
The qualifiers were so great for Bull, and the thing the players have told us is that no one has publicly played that map. I think there was a show match like a week ago that I hosted that Vince and Yo played, but other than that, no one has been playing on Bull. Everyone has been hiding strats, so I'm so excited to see what players have come up with.
Yeah, like I said, I think like these best of threes are going to be very much standard, and then once we ever get into a best of 5, that's where we see all the real strats come out.
Dogao carefully writing things down. Do you remember all the memes about Doubt last year with the
book? Yeah,
the book, yeah. And it's so dainty. Like he just.
Who do you think is the best handwriting out of these two? Because my handwriting's so bad because I'm always on a computer. Like a pen feels foreign to me.
Yeah,
I can barely
the same
do it.
Here, and I think it might be the same with Doubt.
There's no Doubt.
Might be the same with Dogao.
Yeah.
We're nerds, right? Like all of us.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it.
No.
Well, they're looking and they're thinking about it right now, and it's important they do because what I do and what I've been taught anyways, granted this might be wrong, is you kind of write out 2 to 3 civilizations for each map because you're not going to be able to get every single one that you want. And once that's completed, then you can go into that draft.
Doubt's really taking his time here. He's really considering.
A civ that I think will be consistent amongst Gamer Legion players, and this will come as no surprise to most, is Saracens. Viper picked Saracens in his first series, but do you remember in the previous Red Bull how everyone was thinking that Saracens would go archers, and we saw the market into like +2 knights and camels and whatnot. I think it's a really strong move.
And there's Cumans being banned, so that's very interesting. Was Morass? No, Morass was banned, and now Cumans are being banned here. Very popular civ on that in the qualifiers.
Yeah, I mean, it's also a civilization that some players just despise. Dogao might be like most, where they can't play with the civ, and they can't play against the civilization, so he just got rid of it there.
Oh, he has Enclosed as well, which is another very popular civ, or very popular map for Cumans.
That's true.
You can get that second TC on the gold.
So Enclosed is, oh yeah, the home map for Doubt. You're spot on there. You were spot on there.
I believe that was Gajara's and Dravidians. New expansion civs being banned, so Dravidians being banned out a lot. I didn't expect big things from that civ so far in the tournament, but players may be a little bit nervous about the possibilities of them starting with an extra 200 wood now.
And Byzantine's ban?
That's a good ban. That's a good ban. I think Byzantines are going to be a very annoying civ to play against.
It doesn't feel like the civ really has a weakness. There's no easy way to kill them.
Yeah.
They don't have any crazy power spikes, which makes them unique in the realm of Empire Wars, but again, I like the bans from both players.
Yeah, I like the bans
And
too.
we're going to start with some picks now. And it looks like we're going to see Lithuanians who now get 150 food.
Super strong.
Additional 150 food at the start. Last time they did not. There were some civs tweaked, so they get their starting bonuses.
And they were still picked in the last Red Bull, too.
Yeah,
like
on occasion
they very strong civ on Empire Wars. And they get the additional 150 food now. That is the
Hindustanis.
Hindustanis there.
Yep. So
Doubt crossing out Hindustanis.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is. Yeah, that's precisely what it is. And I think it's really important that people know that because, no offense to anyone watching, but no one's doing a draft out there. You know what I mean? They're
Koreans.
just Koreans.
Aztecs, Mayans, and Koreans here. Maybe the Korean Cav Archers making a comeback.
Well, listen, Aztecs only got stronger, and Aztecs have been absolutely dominant, as have Mayans, in all of these events. So the fact that Aztecs got a little bit stronger going into this, it's wild, and I really think a lot of people are going to be banning it.
I was asking players yesterday, and a lot of them
This
shared
is
the
full
same opinion that
calorie
Aztecs are the strongest, if not top 3 civs on Empire Wars right now. As Berbers now go over to Dogao, do you sense a pattern here with these civ selections from Dogao?
Yeah, I mean, you know what would be interesting, actually? The Hindustani pick, if up against Mayans or Aztecs, they've got options there.
Oh, against Mayans, they have the option.
The Gulam is so good there, so that'll be fun to look for. And there's Saracens.
Yep, there's Saracens, Koreans and Saracens right beside each other. Unorthodox civs for maybe anyone not in GL, and Doubt with a big smile on his face. Dogao all business as they go for the fist pump, and then...
That was awesome.
Well, here we are. Back at the casting booth for another set. Thank you all for being with us as we're about to get into this best of 3. That's right, best of 3 show match, or showdown, I guess it would be. Not a show match, certainly not with this castle environment. A showdown between Doubt and Dogao. The players are now making their way to the main stage.
Well,
this is going to be good.
I'm going to say this as they walk past, just to see how awkward it gets.
Yeah.
Ready? Dogao is the real favorite here.
Yeah, Dogao is the clear favorite.
Oh, God,
wow, no.
It was a joke. It was a joke. Don't hurt
I didn't mean it, Doubt.
Oh, man.
He gave you a stare down.
I didn't realize that was that loud.
Faster.
He did not think that was funny either.
No, he didn't look very happy at all. That's a terrifying look.
I feel
He's
really
a big
bad.
man.
I feel really bad about that, actually. Anyways, back on track here. I
Man,
think
I
it's
wish I
going
could
to
have
be a close series.
seen
I
it.
actually believe Doubt is the favorite. He spent 2 weeks with his teammates, some of the most creative teammates we have, or he has, or anyone could have, I suppose. And 2 weeks will go a long way. Not to mention that he's, of course, locked and loaded. And, of course, Dogao did not know a week ago that he was going to be here. I talked to him about the whole journey. Of course, coming from Brazil, it was a lot.
Yeah.
But he did play in both qualifiers. He did play an updated, balance and everything. But I think for now it's going to be like winning with meta that is already established, no secrets. And then hopefully if he continues to advance, he might see a couple things that he'll be able to use for later rounds.
And I think the players are making their way onto the stage shortly. If Dogao can fit through that, Doubt can fit through that door anyway.
Shh, don't be too loud, dude. We can't.
No, he's far enough away. Surely he's far enough away now.
I'm scared of him, man. Oh, man, I'm scared of him. But yeah, they're going to be walking in, man. And what a walk-in it was to see Kingston. Kingston just carries himself so well.
Yeah, he does.
That was so cool. All right, well, here they come.
And we are going to see Doubt looking up for once. That's rare for him. He's usually looking down on everyone from his high perch up there, and he's going to make his way towards the main stage and through that entrance at the back, and he is the favorite coming into this for sure. He had to duck to get through the door. See, he points at GL, and he's got a big old smile on his face as he goes to the computer. He's going to sit down.
He's classic.
Get
He's
ready
the
for this
best.
match.
Damn.
Of course, we are off camera.
There's so much drive in him, man. Oh, he's got his Red Bull too.
Very painful.
Yeah.
Very painful.
You're really sucking up to him now.
Yeah,
I gotta balance out the scoreline here. But he takes a
Let's go,
Redbull, and it is time for Dogao, the beast, the legend from Brazil, to make his walkout.
I know many Brazilian fans on the stream right now, always with the Age of Empires community. We have so many talented players from there, and Dogao is representing Brazil in this tournament. It was a last-minute thing for him to show up here, but he is here, and I believe that he's ready. As long as he just sticks to the basics, sticks to what he knows, he can win against anyone on his day. And he doesn't look he doesn't look that nervous. He doesn't look super confident either. It's just somewhere in the middle.
Don't forget, like, this is a world champion in team games with his country. This is a player that has been to China for LANs, various countries all around the world. Like, this is one of the most experienced LAN players we have here. Again, unfortunately, the only big question we have is just the fact that he was a late replacement and he wasn't necessarily expecting to be on this stage here today. But I'm excited for this matchup. Again, as you mentioned earlier, Dave, these guys are very mature Age of Empires 2 players. Not to imply that others are, it's just purely because of how long their careers are. They are 10-plus year Age of Empires professionals. They have been there, they have done that. They know so much about the game. And it will take a bit.
If your handwriting is really bad and you can't read it, you sit down after all the preparation and you're like, what does that say Hindustanis or does that
say what else would it look like?
I don't know. Lithuanians. I don't know. Maybe it's really bad.
Yeah. It's like an actual strategy to not pick civilizations.
Burgundians or Bohemians.
Yeah,
we don't know. Yeah.
Yep. Or Berbers or whatever else. Also, gotta love these banners here. Doubts in particular. For a while back in the day, he was called the Sad Panda.
Yeah.
And so, you know, to have the panda up there, I think is very fitting.
And I believe Dogao has Winchester's banner as well.
He does.
Just because of the short time frames.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they did a little.
And it's a beautiful banner in the first place. I mean, we're very, you know, we're a big family here with Age of Empires 2. We're very happy to have Dogao and Kingston both here. We're also very sad that Nikov and Vinch, unfortunately, due to unfortunate circumstances, couldn't participate.
Of course, of course.
I mean, it's tough to balance that, right? We have the happiness of two more faces and then the sadness of not being able to see our friends and not being able to watch them compete.
Yeah, of course. Well, you know, you take the opportunities when they come your way. And sometimes, not that it would be luck for the others, but because this would be very much unlucky, but
well, it's like Age of Empires.
Given an opportunity.
It's like Age of Empires 2, right? Sometimes you just get the luck. And
yeah, sometimes your villagers path correctly, and other times they, you know,
and
run
sometimes it's just bad luck.
Yeah. And then other times,
almost every game.
And other times there's no luck involved, and you just trash.
Exactly.
Yeah. Not you. Sorry, I meant like.
You're calling me trash?
No, no.
You're calling Doubt trash?
No.
Yeah, it's because he's in the other room.
I need like.
He can hear you.
These are some thick walls, but I need at least 2 rooms in between us, man. Well, it is funny because you know, after one of the sets of the previous Redbull Wololo, he came out and he was like, I heard your prediction. And he's done that a lot. And I have truthfully made a lot of predictions against Doubt over the last few years, including the Redbull Wololo 3 Grand Final. I said Leary was going to win there.
Well, I mean, no one except the most diehard believer in the Lord was thinking Doubt could do that.
Yeah.
And if you guys are wondering if they can actually hear us here, they can't. Those headphones are super noise canceling. Like, you cannot hear anything.
Also, there's quite a distance. This is a very big castle. This is not a small place. And
yeah. But, you know, Tristan, he's very nervous. And I would be too. Yeah. The look he gave you, he definitely didn't look at me. He looked at you.
Well, I tried to make a joke when a player was locked in. That's not the time. That's not the time. And they should be locked in, fully focused the every step of the way. And we will get started here shortly. So let me just review here, at least from my point of view here. I think that Doubt has the preparation. He's probably in better, not shape physically, but, you know, he didn't just fly across the world to get here. And so Doubt is my clear favorite. Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, Doubt's my clear favorite here too. He's well-versed in the strategies, the meta. He's been playing against other players. Dogao, there were so many questions with him, and he's going to have to overcome a lot. But if he can, you know, break it down game per game, and if he can get into a situation where he's got equal eco, he's got the same, you know, military that he knows and loves for all these years, maybe knights, maybe crossbow, definitely possible.
Yeah, he's got to find a sweet spot. He has to make sure he maintains control over the game, finds a sweet spot. Definitely a series that could go later than a lot of the other ones we might see today because of the style these two tend to have. Both these players tend to be patrol at home wall first players as opposed to the opposite.
I could see one of these games maybe stretching near the time limit. If the situation is like, if all the conditions are met, these two guys, I could see them doing that.
Yeah, I think that Dogao's best age is Castle Age, and I think Doubt's best age is Castle Age. So Castle Age will be really fun to watch.
Doubt's also a beast, though, in late Imperial, if you let him get rolling.
I agree. Yeah.
And you would think it wouldn't be that case because he doesn't have the speed of other players, but he just knows where to allocate his attention.
Yeah, that's the thing that's deceiving about him. We were talking about a player in the top 100 earlier. It's not important to name the name, but like really fast individual, but we're like, but is he applying the appropriate focus and time to the proper areas? And that is just not something that's easy about our game. I'm sure every 1,000 Elo player out there that has killed 3 villagers with 6 scouts, but forgot to make villagers for 3 minutes, remembers that.
Yeah, you're a god for about 30 seconds.
Yeah, and then
you realize what's happening.
Capture Age, if it had brought less data, would probably have more users, because there's people out there who don't want to use Capture Age because they don't want to see. Yeah, they don't want to see that stuff. Get that off my screen.
I mean, I watched one of my own Rex in Capture Age. Never again. Never again.
You have too much knowledge. Too much knowledge to know that's a mistake.
Exactly. No, it's for Doubt. It's just like it's action sequencing, right? Which is so important because over the course of time, you could be really fast. You could make a lot of moves, but what you're doing is fluff.
Yeah.
What Doubt is doing with every single click is very important until he tries the quick wall, and then things just start to crumble around him. As we see, maybe Dow getting a little bit of a warm-up there?
Yeah, and I believe it was Northern Isles. I actually, forgive me, it slipped my mind and I didn't see it on screen, but I believe Northern Isles is our first game, and that incorporates water with 2 experienced water players. Probably one of the bigger shocks and surprises in recent, last 2 years, I guess, events would be when Dogao masterclassed against the Viper in one of the hidden cups on water. And so, Gamer Legion love their water play, especially with Tato being there and talking to everyone about how to play it. So I'll be excited to see this one. Do you remember some of the crazy games on Northern Isles in the past with the Fatorias and the crazy landings? It's such a cool map.
Some of the qualifiers on that map too get absolutely nuts. I remember there was one map or one game back in the day where someone went Koreans and then just made 30 keeps on the other island. and Doubt has Koreans.
Ooh.
But Northern Isles not even in it's banned.
I thought Northern Isles, that's what Dogao was practicing.
We'll have to pull that up again.
Dogao was practicing that.
Yeah, I'm already.
I don't know any other maps. It could have been, no, I think it was Northern Isles, man. I think I saw a transport ship.
Okay.
But Dogao, clearly he's been in, on Dark Age doing a couple of his starts. Doubt just spoke to someone here, and they're about to join the lobby is what I'm told. So they're finally ready.
You have to remember that players, there was just a set played, and they have all of their settings on a drive. They come up, they plug it in, they get their keyboards and mice ready and everything like that. So it takes some time, and we want players feeling good when they start the set, right? So viewers at home, a little bit of a delay, but I think it's worth it in terms of the quality of games we're going to get.
Definitely. All the quality angles here as well. I just realized that those are siege rams. Sorry, I'm a little blind, but there's these cool siege rams underneath both desks, and here we have the draft information again. It is Northern Isles.
Okay, it is Northern Isles. Okay. And man, who was it that played Koreans? I feel like someone played Koreans in the qualifier. It might have even been Daniel, as weird as that sounds, on Northern Isles.
Well, here's my thing. We know Koreans are great on water. I don't necessarily think the other civs will be picked there. Where on earth are we going to see... what on earth are we going to see on a water map?
Lithuanians, maybe.
Berbers, because of the faster ships? There's no direct water bonuses, I guess, is my point when you look at Dogao's draft.
Yeah. I mean, if you're planning on landing, then it doesn't really matter all that much. You already have the fishing ships starting out.
Yeah.
All you have to do is get over to their island.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I mean, that's what's cool about the map is you have the option to land.
Yeah.
Some players have even gone Aztecs on that map and just try and land and turn it into some Eagle Monk play, but I don't think Doubt would be doing that.
I think Aztecs is probably for Enclosed or Arabia. I mean, he's going to use them.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Well, I think Doubt needed a little bit more time because of issues getting into Steam or something here, so he's going to be locked and loaded here shortly.
Yeah, and it looks like he's doing fine over there. We've got the lobby set up. As you can see, maps are going to be Northern Isles first game, Enclosed for Doubt, and Arabia for Dogao. I'm suspecting maybe Koreans on Northern Isles. You could also make a case for Saracens. I think Mayans and Aztecs are kind of... they could be good there, but it's not what you would expect, right? And you're going to expect those on Enclosed and on Arabia. For Dogao, you were talking about it. What civ does he go for? Lithuanians could have some potential. Berbers could have some potential as well. Tatars, likely not. And then Hindustanis. Well, Hindustanis are good. everywhere. They're a really good civilization.
All right, I think that little blink there and Dogal collecting himself, I believe this means we are close to getting started. And thank you everyone for your patience as we wait to launch off here. But man, am I pumped for this one. Again, 2 players that have been pros for over 10 years. That is not something that is, I guess, that unique in our scene, but I would say most people
in
are around
esports,
8 or 10. Yeah.
You could have 10-year-old pros in other games.
Yeah.
You know, they've been playing for so long, over a decade since their first matchup in a tournament, I believe. So that is impressive stuff. And
also, if both of them, not that we want this, right? But if both of them were to retire like tomorrow, I think they're both in the top 10 legends of the game.
I think
if they were to retire
definitely is. Dogal, you can make a really solid argument for him being there.
Sure. Tribute to the 5 speed that Doubt was given there, which I think is probably the lowest, but he's got very
6,
high
actually.
ratings on every. Oh.
So.
Okay, all right. Well, I think I added, it was 5 and I added it to 6. I think I can take credit for that. But anyways, the experience and the strategy, very high. In fact, I actually believe that experience should be a little higher for Dogal, to be honest with you. He's been to a lot of LAN events.
Yeah, he has, and he's been in a lot of tournaments. But I mean, even recently, like the last Red Bull, he was here.
He was here. Again, he was in China.
True, and I think maybe Doubt's micro in comparison, he still has good micro. He's still a pro player, but in comparison to the other people here, maybe a little bit lower. But we're not here to nitpick the amount of dots beside each player. I mean, what you see on Doubt is experience. You see macro being up there, almost a 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10 there. Strategy being 9 out of 10, and just lacking on some of the execution parts of the game.
Sure.
Meanwhile, on Dogal, I mean, that is just steady. It's just all the way across. It's almost 8 out of 10 in everything except strategy. 7 out of 10. We talked about that earlier. He's more of a meta kind of player. He knows, has been playing the same kind of styles for years, and that is a tough customer. If you're Doubt looking to go against someone, there's not many weaknesses you can exploit there.
True. You have to play the players like Dogal. You have to play slightly better than up into the Imperial Age. Yep. That is essentially what happens because he is so consistent. So that's what I would expect, and that's also the thing with Doubt. 2 very similar players in terms of that.
Fingers are moving.
Fingers are moving for sure.
Fingers are moving.
And
Doubt's fingers moving. Fingers are moving.
Can you hear the dinging, ladies and gents? The dinging of the docks.
The fingers are moving, and we're about to get into game 1 here. Northern Isles between Doubt and Dogal. The civs are going to be so interesting immediately upon getting here. Now, Northern Isles, you start with a transport ship. You also start with some fishing ships. You don't need to make that transport, so you can go for a landing immediately.
Yeah. You also could commit to a second dock if you want, and we're pretty far in here, actually, and it looks like a landing was
Ooh, this game, it's looking interesting right now. Well, let's see. It's Northern Isles. I don't think like it was played too often in the qualifiers. But like it's basically sort of Team Isles. Whoa, wait a minute. The archers from Dogal coming right away, they'll be spotted by the dog, I'm pretty sure. I think since there's a transport. Are these games just starting slower or what? Cause like it's already 4-5 minutes. Dogal's Berber, so he's gonna have those faster moving galleys. And I don't think he can actually kill a lot of people here, like Wills here. Definitely not. Oh, there's Wills here already. This will be interesting. It depends on how late does that go up. I don't think the guy can deny too much here. Oh! Doubt has his own plans. The walling's late for the gal. It might be a little difficult for him to spawn in time if this. Oh! Can you get it done? I think you can. Can you? Oh! Easy. Okay, almost good enough. Almost good enough. It's 5 kills with the gal. None of them being eco kills. And I mean, a little bit of fall time for that. Oh, no loss. This is good. This is good response. And that stable, the sneaky stable, that's really. Oh my gosh! I don't know what happened there. But that's gonna be damage. That's gonna be a good amount of damage here. No eco carries still. Interesting, but that's one will down. Those 2 skirms are kind of enough, though. Oh, I guess he sees the siege. Also pretty impressive from the guy. Well, look at his resources, though. Why do both of them have like resources? What the hell is going on here? It's only been 10 minutes. Oh my gosh. I'm going for a second TC though, which should help a bit. Oh, and that KD from I think he cleaned up the arches. Probably. Turtle ships. Uh oh, those turtle ships. They're gonna be really dangerous to deal with right now.
Doubt easily makes his way past that. Now Doubt is going to be in the middle of no man's land with that TC, and he's going to be walling in all his villagers behind that. Fortunately, he does have a second TC, but there's a hole.
6 speed, no!
Oh, no.
Oh, that's not the start you want. That can really rattle you. Good damage control so far, but what a great decision from Dogao to realize he's got nothing, and I'm just going to dive. And Doubt, he's trying to get the quick walls down.
There's some of those speed. Oh, well, like I said before, Doubt is really good at action sequencing until he's got some quick wall scenario like this, and then you can kind of take advantage of him. But he's managed to stem the damage. He still has 51 eco versus 48 from Dogao. I mean, Dogao still with 4 fishing ships alive and dealt with 9, so that's the major difference right there.
Uh-oh. Those villagers don't want to be there.
Oh boy, no.
Those villagers do not want to be there.
Oh, God.
Doubt's falling apart here, Dave. And the turtle ships, by the way, are halfway to their destination.
They're very slow.
So, not looking too good there. Doubt added a knight so he could snipe the siege. Let's see if any monks can come out from Dogao to convert that.
I like the fact that Doubt is on stone and he's going for guard towers now. This is going to be a very difficult thing for Dogao to push through if he gets enough of them up.
Yeah.
There's a guard tower over there. Can't quite get involved in this. The TC might go down, but now there's going to be a guard tower on the stone. And Koreans are tough to push once you get a couple of those in place.
Yeah, now long-term, obviously, Doubt's going to want that gold that Dogao has, but he's got 2 good piles there. So, has lost a TC. This might stop here. I don't know if you just attack the houses or what if you're Doubt, or Dogao, excuse me, but certainly you've got to try and get in with the knights if you can.
Archers at the back there from Dogao, but remember that +2 armor. So Doubt can just keep making base skirmishers without upgrading them if it's only archers that Dogao is going to send in. And the turtles, they're here, Tristan. Woo! They're finally here as Doubt will take out the fishing ships, and now Dogao is going to have limited fishing economy. Doubt is going to have 10 of those, which means he can theoretically abandon those farms. I mean, look at the amount of food he has in the bank.
He's got crazy food.
700 food in the bank, 500 gold. Doubt's resources looking crazy. And still 48 villagers to 50. So with all of that pressure, Dogao hasn't really managed to kill that much economy from Doubt.
That's a fair point. Now, this is an important moment. That is not a TC you would normally want to place if you're Doubt. He must know there's army out there. This is a good... He's got to get the quick walls here.
A gate, something. Gate, okay. House, good, okay.
Yeah,
and
that
that'll
TC
buy him
should be
enough
fine.
time for the TC.
But he is going to lose villagers here. That gate should go down. And never mind, Dogao moves away from it.
He's not going to lose anything here. He's going to get the TC up. The archers have to retreat, and the knights look for different opportunities. Fire Galley being very annoying at the back there, but Doubt with another turtle ship could clear that up, but he's going to have to Q1. He's got a Fire Galley of his own coming out.
You know what would be so funny? Oh my god, well, okay, that's the next best thing, but attack the dock. Make Doubt, make Navy to kill those knights as Doubt runs in there and Dogao reacts. This is not an easy map to play, ladies and gents, because you've got so many different areas to look. Well, the Genitors won't be needed because I believe they've died to the TC. But
no. The Genitors are dealing with the archers at home. Oh, you mean the archers died to the TC? I was thinking it would be quite a task for his own units to die to his own TC, but that makes sense. That makes a lot more sense.
Doubt 62 eco. It's looking pretty cramped for him, but he is going to add some monks. It's just, what does he do with all that stone, Dave? He's building up stone. Obviously, could go for more defense. But does he maybe try and drop a castle in the middle? Does he transport and build a famous forward castle on Dogao's face?
I think you probably need the initial castle at home. You need that in front of your gold, because if Dogao gets like the +2 damage, unfortunately damaging some of his own units with the Mangonel shots there, if he's getting the +2 armor right now, there's a threat he could just run in and start raiding you to death, and that's problematic. And now we see Doubt, maybe he goes for a castle on Dogao's base. Dogao's gold on that 1 TC is in a very rough position.
It is. Also, he's got the gold to buy stone if he wants it now. However, in the middle, which we haven't shown too much, there is a lot of resources. So I think with Koreans, getting towers and castles up there is just an easier thing to do and possibly even more important.
There's rams from Dogao. He's preparing for a big push.
Where are his monks, though? Is he healing those knights right now?
Yeah, he's doing it.
Is he healing them? Are they actually strong? Can we see the... Okay, they're getting there because he's going to dive here soon, and he's going to need to have his monks available to convert some of those knights back as well.
Only 5 space on that transport ship. So if he wants to go for a forward... What was it? The monk was heading to the transport too. The monk heads back.
Okay, this is where the monks are needed for Dogao, and the pathing here for the Mangonels was not so good, but the monks are there.
Be very careful if you're Doubt. Like, Dogao has been charging up that monk against the knight. He could convert the turtle ship right now.
He should.
I am very surprised that he didn't do that.
He should. He's obviously very distracted. Now, honestly, like, Dogao is +2. He has rams right now, but his knights are weak, and one of his Mangonels is weak. It feels like him pushing is becoming less and less of a possibility.
Doubt's on Dogao's island. He's towering. Okay, that accomplishes the same thing kind of as the castle does.
Oh, and a big fight, He goes in for the siege here. Was Dogao prepared for this? He loses all of his siege. Of course, he's got the rams, but again, weak knights. Doubt's going to get conversions here as well, plus he's got his turtle ship. I think Doubt is holding here.
Yeah, Doubt's done a fairly good job here, and he started building the towers like we saw on Dogao's island. He's going to start cutting off that gold there, and Dogao's going to see this. He built houses near there, so he should know what's happening over on that side, but Doubt has successfully cleared up the landing from Dogao. Very, very good response from him. Questions about what Dogao could have done there, though. I think he could have done a little bit better with that.
It definitely felt like he was macroing there and trying to get his town centers up or something. But sad times for anyone rooting for Dogao, because that was an important moment, and 3 rams just sitting there in Castle Age, that's not going to help you too much. And those towers are going to be really hard to stop. However, Dogao is coming back on water now, Dave. And Doubt only has those 3 turtle ships out.
It's like, you see how many fire ships need to gang up against a turtle to get the damage done. But Doubt lost that first turtle. He's going for more towers on the edges. And he's going for a dock in that choke pointy area as Dogao finds a villager from Doubt that she was kind of out of place. And he'll let Doubt know that he's still running around with those knights.
Doubt did not click up to Imp. I know some people are going to think that because his food disappeared, but he's just got Vils in queue. Another turtle ship goes down. The towers are going to be great, but Dogao could probably rush the towers down and head his own base right now if he wanted to. I think that's important.
Good raids there from Dogao. I mean, he's got the +2 armor, right? Doubt needs to run a long way to get to the safety of that TC, and you can see the eco KD right now. 23 for Dogao, 4 only for Doubt. So Doubt is taking some damage. It's reflected up at the top as well, with Dogao having 90 villagers and Doubt only having 68.
We do see Imp for Doubt, so he canceled a lot of those villagers. Also, just real quick, look at how many villagers he has in each resource. Imp, and he's got like 30 eco working, apparently, because of all the idle time.
It's crazy, and a big portion of Doubt's eco is the 9 fishing ships that are losing value, right? I mean, the efficiency on them has been dwindling at the back. You can see there's no fish left over as Doubt goes for a defensive castle now, and he's going to have to keep shifting those around. It's always better to have villagers than fishing ships. Fishing ships are great early, but later on in the game, you want, and perfect example, you want villagers.
Yeah, now, what's interesting here is, as we see someone placed a farm right beneath the castle, which is kind of funny. You know, as Doubt makes that castle, if he starts to push back and take land again, Dogao has 1/3, well, not 1/3 of his eco, but he's got a TC, making a lot of villagers there. And so, like...
He can make it very difficult for Doubt to take control of that.
Yeah, and he's been keeping an eye on that gold as well. So I feel like maybe Dogao's going to have some questions on where he makes that next castle, but I'd love to see it forward.
I just wonder, like, what is the sequence of events here for Doubt?
Those villagers are getting wrecked.
Yep. He's paying attention to something else, clearly. But, like, what's the sequence of events when he hits Imperial Age? What is the first thing that you want to do? Are you making Trebs to push that back? Are you making... I don't know, as he loses more villagers.
It's so bad. It's so painful. And at the same time, it's so good for Dogao. I mean, this was a gift. But this is because Doubt has no space at the moment. And you're right, Dave. Like, he's going to have ballistics. He can make a Treb or two. But what is he trebbing down?
Chemistry into Cannon Galleon with water you haven't even secured. Like, are you going to go for a castle forward? You can't. You only have 240 stones. So, you get keep. Okay. And then you go for chemistry for the potential to have bomber cannons sending. Oh, wow. He just dodged a huge bullet there.
Oh, jeez.
Casually just passing.
Just passing, man. Well, you know, Dogao's just playing this perfectly. He's used the Knights to distract Doubt and push Doubt back. He's got so much on water, Dave. He's got 12 fire ships.
This makes sense, though, from Doubt to, like, that's a good solution because he doesn't have many options when he hits Imperial Age. He wants to utilize it somehow. He's going to start setting up keeps in the middle.
Yeah.
And he's going to, like, set up a no-go zone for those ships around there from Dogao with all those keeps.
Look at all those yellow dots. What's that eco KD again? 45 to 6. It's a shame that Imp doesn't matter much for Doubt here because he's got the time. And look at did the Rams take out the dock?
Yeah.
The Rams took out the dock. Just keep going there. I mean, still 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes actually till Dogao is in the next stage. So that's what is working well for Doubt at the moment. But not a whole lot else.
Solitary Ram, he has finally found a target. Yes, come here.
Also the pathing, like, took them into the wood line too.
Yeah.
What a bad sign, though. You're an Imp faster and you're losing water. Also, I think I see is that a transport or trade cog from Doubt? I think I'm stupid. Well, I know I'm stupid, but I think it was wrong. Never mind, Mapu. Don't worry about it.
We can see up at the top that Doubt currently has one transport ship.
It was the angles.
Doubt still hasn't realized his tower is being rammed down over there, but he's coming forward with villagers. Doubt has been very cavalier with his villager numbers this game, and here is another perfect example as 3 Knights aren't going to be enough to stop both of these towers.
Yeah, but you're still just getting so many villager kills.
The monk is canceling it now. The monk is canceling and Doubt. He runs away from this. The villagers can't contest those towers anymore as Doubt brings over only 1 monk, and Dogao is doing a fantastic job just holding on tooth and nail to that section of Doubt's
Those
island.
Rams are still taking out stuff. Like, that is so good for Dogao, but it also shows how bad this is for Doubt. Those Rams have been everywhere.
And a castle. Oh,
that's a great castle
And
spot.
it's behind the wood line, too. He's already got a building in front. It's just so... it just feels so tough for Dogao to take back this position. Or sorry, for Doubt, sorry.
He's got 1 Knight, 1 Archer, 2 Monks, and a Dream. But
he does have middle control. But he's got a TC there now.
Okay, however, he's got so much wood and gold, right? I guess the issue for him is he doesn't have the docks to make Navy.
Yeah.
But you never want to be floating 1K wood, 1K gold when you're on a water map. That is a really bad sign for him.
Yep. And is that tower even going to go? It's a Doubt.
Hello, motherfucker.
Figuratively. Yep. And there's the Siege Workshop right there. The Rams have been noticed by a villager, and Dogao is going to take it. Doubt loses the first game, and he looks frustrated.
Yeah, he looks frustrated, and Dogao looked good, too. He got the villagers there. Initially, of course, he didn't get the value he wanted from the Knights, but he then used the Knights to open up his position on water. He had the Korean player with 0 water control. Despite how strong those turtle ships can be and everything else, that was an impressive one there, as it looks like the players are going to chat a little bit. talking back and forth. Not really sure. I'm not a
I
good
wish they
lip
could
reader,
actually show what they're speaking.
but we will
like,
obviously have Doubt's home map.
it
coming up
would
next.
be interesting,
Doubt
but
looks
I
frustrated
think
with
like
himself
it's
right
pretty
now.
good that they can talk to each
I
other
mean,
and
it's
stuff
the
after
first
the
game
games.
that he has played up on that stage. Obviously, there's been lots of practice, but it just feels so foreign when you're sitting in a different area at a different desk.
Yep.
And, you know, sometimes the monitor is a little bigger or smaller. You know, sometimes you don't have, as you mentioned, some players like to put like pennies and things underneath keyboards for spacing and size, but
They're
either
gonna have
way.
a little player conference here. Maybe we couldn't hear him from across the desk as Dogao heads over to talk to Doubt a little bit. And
Wow, that's fun.
I mean,
I don't know if there's
they're
issues
gonna
or what.
see if there might be something going on there, but obviously Doubt didn't pause to have any discussions about anything. So I'm wondering, you know, it could be one of those things. If there's a minor annoyance, it becomes a much bigger annoyance
especially
in
when
a
you're
best
losing.
of three.
Especially
yes.
when you, yeah, exactly.
And truthfully, you don't want any minor annoyances regardless.
You feel like you can play with it, and then suddenly you've lost the game, and you only have one more chance. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
it can be very.
And the way
difficult.
he's motioning right now is like, well, yeah, I could do this, but this is.
Yeah. Well, it's
But we
only
don't know.
speculation on our part. For that game, I mean, Dogao put him under pressure, and it was clear that Doubt just had too many places to look. And Dogao did all the right things. Like, he got +2 right away for his Knights. He was raiding with his Knights. You know, he denied the tower attempts that Doubt made. He took out the first TC, which was impressive. And then he kept being annoying against the docks. Like you said, the Rams just kept making their way slowly around. And that inconveniences Doubt at every step. And it means that he can't fully take advantage of even his fish eco.
Yeah. I mean, all the things you
It's
said
kind
are
of
spot
crazy
on
how
there.
Dogao just
Was it really
started
interesting
a
home
week
map
before
we move on
and
to
he
some
still
more
gets
land-based
a win.
maps? Doubt will have enclosed. Now,
crazy
he
good.
can pick Arabia if he wishes to, which was Dogao's home map choice. But if we have this best of three, go to the third.
He
game,
does
we will
look like
then have
Sapmander
a
right
hybrid
now.
water
I don't know.
map,
He's like kind
a
of crying.
more boomy, distanced, closed map, and then Arabia.
Okay, so we have to take a look at our next maps.
How do well
again,
games go,
we have
Bomber?
to take a look at our next maps
Do you have
for the
fun
next few
playing with
games
that
as
big
Doubt
monk?
gets
Did it
everything
carry you
sorted, and
enough?
Dogao will be back
Or
shortly.
they did
And
what they
we
do
have
best?
Koreans taking the L. We have Berbers getting a win.
I don't have
over
to
the
say it a
Nels,
lot,
and that
you
was the
know?
map you speculated
But,
the Berbers might be
you know.
used, although he didn't use it quite the way
Yeah.
that you thought he would. And now we go on to, well, I don't know what we go on to, because the last time we thought it was Kingston's home map, and he ended up playing and picking Vipers, so.
Yes, but I think we are safe to assume with this one that it will likely be enclosed.
Yeah.
And Dogao drafted against enclosed. He's got some fear of it too after removing the Cumin. So when I look at Doubt, it's only Mayans or Aztecs here. Like it is become increasingly more common on enclosed to actually go aggressive. I forget which games they were last year, but we did see instances of Archer opening with a Meso Civilization into just Eagle spam like crazy. In fact, Doubt did that with the Mayans in an amazing victory.
And you can punish someone so hard because there's only one main gold for enclosed.
Yeah.
You can't wall that gold into your TC. There's a rock area, a rock circle that you can't wall on. So if you can pressure that main gold early, keep your opponent off of it, the game's essentially over.
Yeah.
At that point. And that's something that Mayans and Aztecs are so good at doing, especially Aztecs.
Yeah.
Like so good at doing. Pile on that early pressure and keep piling it on.
Yeah, now, where it gets interesting is, would you prefer to have Aztecs on enclosed, or Aztecs on Arabia, or Mayans on enclosed, or Mayans on Arabia?
I'd say Aztecs on enclosed because it's a more momentum-based map, I think.
Yeah, I could see that. And Mayans obviously can play into Archers a lot easier on Arabia, which is more the Arabia-style meta.
Yeah.
I would agree with that statement. Now, you do have Saracens as the wild card pick. Doubt always uses the market, like just always, regardless of what civ he has, and Saracens are amazing with that. But I still do not think that he's going to play with Saracens on the next two games. I think it's like,
I don't really know what good Dogao play here, or
why didn't you
close
play
at
that
least.
Yeah.
And I think Doubt has enough experience
Like
to
all
know
three
that he
does
just needs a
is,
win.
I don't know.
He doesn't need to be thinking about game 3.
Yeah.
He just
Not
needs a win right
fully
now. He needs to
aggressive
overcome
appeal,
that
I would say.
frustration that he has. And he's got the civs to do it. And if it's enclosed and you go Saracens for some weird kind of strategy, you lose, you look at your civ draft and you're like, damn, I had Aztecs, I had Mayans. Why on earth did I do that? So we're suspecting that's going to be the case for Doubt. Let's talk a little bit about Dogao. So Dogao has Hindustanis, which if Doubt goes Mayans, have the best matchup in the game.
Yep.
In the game.
I don't know about in the game, but it's up there. It's up there.
I think it's one of the worst matchups we've ever had in the game. The Gulam just completely destroys Mayans unless they can get a gigantic ball of plumed archers.
Yeah.
But we're thinking late game, right? So early on in the game, the Hindustanis need to withstand the pressure, so there's still possibilities. Secondly, we have Tatars, which could be an option, and then Lithuanians, which might be saved for Arabia.
Yeah, I'm going to lean towards Tatars for enclosed because of how much cheaper they're. Like, I think that's so strong. I think it's Water Buffalo, which have more food. You have 150 food, and then Tatars get extra food on that.
Dude,
so it's very
long
easy
these
for
games go, they tend to get super long. It's already been like 3 hours, they're done with 2 games.
Now, if
There's
you play
like
as
4 more
Tatars,
games to go at
then
least.
you're not playing as Lithuanians, which you get 150 free food, which is sick, and all that the crazy night spam, and then you're not playing as the Hindustanis, or one or the other at least throughout the series. So, but when I think about Dogao, I feel like Tatars could be a really solid pick for him.
Yep. We see Dogao and Doubt both back at the desk here. And Doubt is looking in his notebook. And they're just making a lobby right now. They're going to get into it, and we will have game
He
number
almost
2
looked
for
like
you
he's
shortly here,
crying.
folks.
What the fuck?
Thank you for tuning in to Redbull Wololo Legacy. It's going to be incredible. We're still only on the second set of day number 1, but it already feels like I've been here for a week just preparing, right? We flew in a day and a half ago, 2 days ago. Been talking to so many people, just really getting our minds around what the current meta is. And us as casters, like, it's already kind of hard for us to approach pro players because we basically have a living talking about them and they don't want to give us any topics, right? But now with all the secretive threats, it's become even harder for us to talk about the game. They're so nervous, right? Don't want to give anything away.
Yeah, I think Doubt right now, you know, he obviously is using this moment to decide on what he's going to do here, going through all the possibilities that we discussed as they are in the lobby now and waiting to start. But now also needs to regain composure. You have to have a very short memory, I think, as a player.
Yep.
Easier said than done, obviously, but you cannot let that first game linger in your mind.
No,
This is not the time to think about what could have done differently there. That would be the time for after the series concludes. But all things considered, considering that, like, 2 days before I flew out, I talked to Dogao, and he's like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be there. He showed up. He got here, and he delivered here in game 1. He looked really good.
Yep. And questions around Doubt, for sure. I mean, he closely had a plan with Koreans there.
Yeah.
I would assume he's practiced that many times, and it didn't pan out. So we'll have to see how Enclosed goes. We talked about the civilizations. We discussed it to death, and he should have the advantage. It looks like they're getting started. Dogao getting a sip of water, as you can see. Doubt getting ready. And here we go shortly.
That right there, excuse me, just drinking some water, but that right there tells me they're about to start because the little shimmy and the little blink and the little thinking moment. No, he did that last time.
No, but do you do that? I kind of do.
I don't know, actually.
Yeah, on the loading screen, you got to position yourself correctly, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, oh, look at the finger crack. Oh, yeah, he's ready.
He's ready to go.
He's ready. And Doubt's looking ready as ever. As he has gone for the Mayans. Once again, we have the beefed up plumed archer, man.
He's beefy. That guy's bigger than the horse for the cash.
I mean, even the bow is massive. So he's ready.
Yep.
Well, I mean, when in doubt, you go back to your favorite civilization of all time. That for Doubt, that would be the Mayans. I don't think Dogao... Does this tell us that Dogao hasn't selected his civ yet?
He's thinking about it.
Or is this like, I've selected my civ, they haven't told me to start yet? Maybe he's got something in his eye. I feel a little bad for the guy. We're just talking about his...
We're just focusing in on him. Yeah, he's going to watch the replays. Like, well, I didn't realize.
Yeah. Sorry,
I was
bro.
the subject of this.
It is something that's very uncommon for the majority of us. I mean, even if you're using a cam, streaming and making content, it is still very different from what we have here.
Yeah. The lights and the 15 different camera angles and the boom camera going up around you, it's crazy.
And that can be why it's so important to have experienced players, because the moment could swallow you up if you let it. The Doubt's waiting for his... Does he still use HC to create villagers, you think?
I think so.
It kind of looks like
there's no way he switched.
Also, did he get a new keyboard anytime recently? Because I remember he's been using the same keyboard for like 7 or 8 years, last I heard.
I think he's using a new one.
Does that have Dell on it?
He's not using the ball mouse anymore, that's for sure. That one, I think that one left in like 2015 or something. I think the oldest piece of equipment here is actually Leary's mouse pad, which I tweeted a picture of earlier.
That's got some use.
Let's
just say
it's got the mouse pad coating on it. Let's call that.
Leary, I've been there, bro. But you gotta, whatever you win in this tournament, you gotta buy a new one.
I was like, why don't you replace that? He's like, that mouse pad won me KOTD. It won me like 2 Red Bulls.
So
like,
he's so
coming to the
connected.
finals. He's like, man, me and that mouse pad have been through some stuff. Okay.
All right. Well, we prepare. We don't prepare. We've been preparing. We are about to start game number 2 as we take a fond look there at Dogao. Look at that little smirk. He's ready, Dave.
Yeah.
He's ready. And there's, again, our skill points. We paneled pretty much everybody that was here on where these players would fall in. But, again, the theme here for these guys is they are generally very consistent. Dogao's certainly more consistent in their first game, though.
Mm-hmm. And here we go. Okay, we're into enclosed, and Dogao has gone for Lithuanians here, and Doubt has actually gone for Mayans, so potentially saving the Aztecs for that Arabia pick. We can see with enclosed here, there's that little rocky terrain. You cannot wall on that, so that separates your gold from your TC. There's also the deer that both players will take advantage of right away. Immediately, you will notice that your berries and gold are very exposed, and this is why Aztecs, Mayans are so good, because they can add in the Eagles, they can add in the Archer, the economy is good, and they can kind of withstand that early pressure, and then you just go all in on gold Eagles.
Doubt's going to need a moment. He didn't really have the moment in the previous game where he had any type of control. It was always some type of counterattack. In fact, the only thing that looked good for him in that game was probably just those turtle ships. So he really needs to take a good fight here, as Dogao's going to have 5 scouts, or does have 5 scouts.
He'll have the advantage early because he got the extra food with the Lithuanians, right?
Yep.
So you can get that out very quickly. Also, their trash is a little bit faster. So they can get across the map a little bit quicker. And he's going double archery range behind these scouts. So he's going to hold Doubt forward, hold him away. Doubt will see both of those. Great scouting.
This is really important scouting. So does Doubt tower here? Because what he's known for in these instances is selling the stone and then buying his way to Castle Age to get to Eagles. And if he were to do that, obviously he would not be able to keep himself on gold.
He's sending villagers to the deer, and he's just slowly expanding his control. Like, he doesn't want to pull villas away from the gold. He does it when the army comes in. And he's just been building military here. And now he's going to pull some more villagers away, potentially lose 1. So that's a great snipe from Dogao. But now Doubt has 14 military. Dogao is at 8 military, and Dogao is going archers into skirmishers. Doubt has not dropped the tower yet. Doubt still has a bunch on gold, and Doubt already has a market. Look at the and he's about to click up. That is just
look at
crazy.
Dogao. Look at Dogao. Yeah. Dogao did the same thing. So he did get the worst prices, which is crazy. But he knows exactly what his opponent's going to do. Dave, there's still only one player that's about to threaten a gold, and that would be Dogao. And if the archers snipe the spearmen, those scouts will mop up those skirms like it's nothing.
Yes, and the Eagles aren't really going to do all that much against the scouts right now. It's just the spearmen that are the threat there. Dogao does not have bloodlines. He doesn't have any upgrades for those scouts yet, but they are threatening, and he's using the mobility right now. He's going to go over to the backside of the berries. Good quick walls there from Doubt as he gets the armor.
The archers, though, they move in.
They're out of position.
They are out of position. Yeah, that's the problem, is you don't have the scouts with them.
But now the villagers are out of position with food in their arms, and that potentially a lot of food in the arms.
What a fun moment that was there. Like,
panicky.
You're out of position. No, I'm out of position. No, you're
very panicky. 35 food in each one of those villagers' arms. So we need them to finish that mining camp, drop off the food there, and they will be doing that shortly. There we go as the scouts come in. Dogao is taking a risk here. He's not keeping his scouts near his archers. He's now joining them up right here. As
what micro, though?
Another villager.
Oh, my God. This micro is so good.
Yeah, it's sick.
Like, Doubt has had 5 more army almost this entire time, and he has had the defender's advantage, and yet Dogao has been able to snipe another villager.
The mobility usage on those scouts has been insane. And here comes Bloodlines, here comes the armor. Dogao has not lost a scout yet. He lost all of his archers, but he's killed 4 villagers. However, in a situation like this, where the Mayans player is going for 3 barracks, losing 4 villagers isn't the end of the world, right? We've seen it happen before. Market, million villagers on gold, just keep spamming Eagles.
if you look at that army count, half of it's useless now for Doubt. The skirmishers are not going to have much of an effect, you'd think, so they march forward now. Just as wait.
What were you saying?
Well, Dogao spotted it immediately.
Dude, Dogao is on the top of his
He's
game
playing
right now.
so good. Yeah, this is insane. Obviously, he's going to want to just use those archers against any spearmen, and now Doubt sees them. So the important thing for Doubt here is just to kill the archers, and I think he's going to be able to kill a few of these guys.
Is he? Oh my god.
Okay,
is he?
Split micro.
Does he even hit
micro.
a shot?
Split micro. Just got off the plane, split micro.
There we go. Okay. And the scouts are, well, they're getting damage against the skirmishers, but like you said, as long as the skirms get the archers, I don't think Doubt really cares about those because all of his focus should be on the Eagles here. He can also add in some monks potentially, maybe upgrade to pikemen later on if the knight numbers start to get out of control. And there's already 3 knights in the queue and 3 on the field. And we look at Doubt, he's only got 12 eagles, but he's already got a monastery.
It's insane how fast these eagles are. And there have been nerfs to this unit many times, both in the production speed and the cost. Doubt's got 12 eagles with 3 more on the way and monks. Dogao's got 5 knights. And now Doubt just drops the TC.
Yep. And that TC, I think, isn't as much for economy as it is for just having a place to hide because the knights might run around to your gold once again. So it's very, very useful. He'll use it to produce villagers, but I don't think his focus here is just going to be an eco approach as he queues up more eagles.
Dogao needs to use scouts against monks here. It's a very important aspect of when you're playing up against the Civ.
Well, he doesn't have any left, right?
He does have them. They're on the other side of the map.
Yeah, they are.
But also, a part of him probably wants the relics since he's Lithuanians, which he should be doing. But I really think if he had those scouts here, he could actually win this fight right now. And he's going to loop all the way back home now.
He's still adding archers, too.
Also, another thing that I found interesting is how little upgrades both of them have. Timing those upgrades is going to be really important here. And even the crossbowman upgrade being researched by Dogao, that's not cheap these days. 175 food,
and
125 gold.
If he gets crossbow, it means he's got to get bodkin, too. So that's going to be more food and gold that he's not immediately getting value from. Like, he's not taking any of these engagements. But at the same time, Doubt is only producing eagles from 2 barracks. And Dogao has been producing crossbows. He's got already 9 knights on the field. He's getting the relics as well, which will add attack to his knights. So Doubt might find himself in a position where Dogao actually has a better military. It's already there. I mean, he already has a better military.
Will he use it before the eagle mass grows and before the upgrades come in? And here come the scouts. You know those scouts are looking for monks at the moment. And I think the push has to come, and not really the push, the fight has to start coming now. Those crossbows can pick away at those eagles. That's a lot of knights right now. And Doubt has the town center, which Dogao just saw. This is a sign for attack for the Brazilian.
And Dogao is picking up another relic. Yep. That's going to be 2 relics with Lithuanians. So valuable there. And Doubt is actually going for that relic at the bottom. So maybe Dogao only gets access to 2. I saw Doubt snipe the relic in between them, which is a really good job from him while he had the forward pressure. And Doubt is going to have, it looks like 3 relics. Dogao is only going to have 2. So that's great. If you're fighting up against Lithuanians and you manage to snipe 3 relics from them, that's pretty nice.
This army, though, is insane,
it's
Dave.
Crazy, yeah.
You said this exact scenario could happen. If you give Dogao a good knight crossbow civ, he's going to dominate. And the monks aren't going to play any role here.
That's not
Doubt
enough
cannot
eagles.
take this fight.
That is not enough eagles, Doubt. Oh, no. He's going to have to retreat from that.
Oh, the scout will go in for the monk as well. The monk, it did get a conversion. It goes down, though, and if he doesn't have gold, he can't make more eagles here, Dave.
Yeah.
This is all right before armor comes in.
Yeah, and those knights are just going to... It looks good going in from a spectator point of view, but now Doubt's gold is completely cut off, and Doubt knows that he is in some deep trouble here as Dogao has the knights on the field, has the crossbow sitting in between the gold and the farms there from Doubt. And where does Doubt
This is the worst case scenario for Doubt. 2-0 versus Dogao.
But Dogao maybe even baiting him back.
Maybe.
Like, I'm leaving.
Look, it's working.
Maybe not. Now he comes in with the knights. I mean, the knights are attacking the barracks, which is not great, but he's obviously focused on the gold. Now the knights are going to hit the woodline. I mean, this is really, really, really tough for Doubt. Terrible position for him currently.
There's a couple important things you can consider right now if you're Dogao. Buy 100 stone, drop a second town center. You've got, you understand that he did have a Vill lead on you. Just try and, get your own villagers out of those town centers at home. Also, definitely a position where you could consider all ending this is just take out the TCs, going for siege. Look, 2 crossbows now.
Yeah, this is really rough for Doe. I think you can kind of see it on his face too. He's just realizing that there's no way he can fight that army. He let off military production for a very long time. I don't know if it was to get the upgrades. I don't know if he was trying to produce from both teams. No, but even with the double TC, you don't have to produce from both of them. I think you should make that TC for protection. Maybe even on the other side where the barracks was destroyed, but then you don't have to produce from it. Just make army.
Yeah, it's a players just feel like they have to, and there's a town center for Dogao.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Dogao has played this so perfectly. Some people would have dove underneath the TC. There's a risk in that. You're already ahead. Move your army around, keep it together.
I don't know if I know about moving around this way though. Maybe just sitting in the center.
The gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's getting a little bit too active, feeling like he needs to do something, you know?
Well, the thing is he can, and he will as he continues to move around. Man, that rock terrain must be so annoying for Dow right now. He's like, if only I could build a house wall there.
He's running with the Vills, and Dogao. Is Dogao really putting effort into chasing these 4 Vills?
No, I think he's a little worried about moving back to the gold, but I think that
he doesn't see
a misplay. Yeah, I think he's got to be back on that gold spot.
This is okay. This could be potentially trouble for Dogao. I mean, if there's a way back into this game, it's for Doubt to just go all in Eagle production.
Yep. And he has the gold now, and he's got 11 with 16 more. I just honestly. What I want to see Dogao do right now is just run right back to the gold.
Yeah.
Just right back.
I don't think he should have ever left.
Yeah,
I think he just should have sat there with the crossbows, but this is something that we've seen from everyone who plays
those Eagles
Empires.
get destroyed though. There's no way. And you take that fight and then you have no gold again.
Yeah, he's got 7 Eagles on the field, and Dogao has 21 crossbows, 17 knights. He's got rams on the way. He's got scorpions coming.
Just
I think that's
to the builds.
Yep,
that
is a
GG. Absolute dominance
there it is.
from the Brazilian.
There it is. I mean, that's 2 games in a row for Dogao, and that is unexpected. And Doubt still has more chances. I mean, or another chance, rather, with another best of 3. He's going to have to figure something out. But right now, it's all about the Brazilian. Dogao taking that 2-0 Northern Isles and in close. He's looking good. He was just notified the other day he'd be here, and he came ready.
He mopped them up. Like those games were not close. Dogao absolutely obliterated Doubt. What a showing from him.
Yep. And Doubt was our favorite.
Yeah,
Doubt was our favorite. He'll figure it out though. I mean, if there's one thing that Doubt is, it's resilient, and he knows how to come back.
Well, I mean, a very important thing about this format is that you have that opportunity. If you were to travel here and not, it would not be the best of times, and it wouldn't be the fairest format. So it doesn't matter how you get there. You can still get to the quarterfinal if you lose that opening round. And so I'm with you. I think his draft was good.
Yeah,
I think his draft was good. I think we knew what he was trying to do, but
just
the gameplay wasn't there.
Yeah, the execution on the first game. And we're going to head to Dogao now, accompanying Riley to get his thoughts on the series.
Well, Dogao, congratulations, mate. A huge win for you here, 2-0. And one thing, I mean, I've got to ask you about this straight away. Your preparation. You know, this was something of a last minute, maybe an unexpected turn of events for you to even be here in Germany. And I want to know, like, how has that affected you? And how do you feel now that you've taken out this first match?
I mean, I played 3 qualifiers, right? So at least it works for something.
But in terms of, you know, your preparation, your readiness, you know, were you anticipating being here? Were you preparing? Were you playing as though you were going to be competing this weekend?
I started yesterday here in the castle, but I feel I'm catching up. And honestly, I felt lucky in both games. Honestly, everything went for my favor, so I'm pretty happy with the win.
I mean, obviously, it's a great way to start your
Why?
Let's talk about game number 1, Northern Isles. You made an early landing on the other isle there and got some great picks early with those knights and followed up by the monks. When approaching a water map like this, what are your priorities? You know, do you want to get on the front foot, get that early landing on the opponent's base? Was that something you go into thinking?
Yeah, I mean, with the matchup Berbers versus Koreans, I felt like my winning condition was being able to land the villages on field on the way to the castle age, so I could make mangonels on knights. And after that, the nights are enemies license, it gets a little bit better because you have the freedom to add more dogs, to make fire ships, to snipe the enemy fish. So, I mean, everything went perfectly in that game.
You're looking for map control and situations.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk about enclosed. Obviously, you know, this is a map that sort of can be played in a range of different ways. I want to talk about your approach and how you were able to make sure that Doubt was never able to get back into the game. After seizing that early initiative, what did you do to make sure that, you know, you closed the door on him?
In that map, honestly, my idea since the beginning was just making pressure. That's why I even made like 5 or 6 scouts, so I could try to raid his base around there. And then when you are playing versus Mesa with a cavalry sieve, you need the support from the crossbows behind the beginning of the castle age, and it's all about the first fight, I feel like. If you are winning the first fight, so you can kind of snowball the game from there, and if you lose the first fight, you kind of lose the game also. And the timing also of the fight was perfect, because right before the fight came, my bot came from the crossbows, kicks in, so again, a little bit lucky again.
Well, look, I mean, you can attribute it to luck, but obviously you've done really, really well to be here today. You've done a really good job in taking out Doubt 2-0.
Thank you.
Miguel, mate, on behalf of the entire Age of Empires community, we're so glad to see you here in, you know, slightly unfortunate circumstances replacing Vinch, but it's great to have you here, and congratulations on a huge win.
Thank you everyone.
Well done, Degal. We're going to head through to the other room and have a chat with Mem now and get his perspective on the games that we just saw. I know that there'll be people who are perhaps a little, you know, a little disappointed that the Law didn't make it, but the good news for them, of course, it's 2 losses and you're out. So Doubt still with a good chance of making it through to the quarterfinals. Mem, we join you here in the casting chamber at the analyst table here, and I mean, talk us through what we've just seen. I know that you've picked some scenes for us to look at. Tell us about maybe some of the lessons we can learn from this.
I mean, we were checking the draft starting, and the Korea civilization was going to be nice. It's very nice in the Northern Islands, but then we saw Berbers. He was talking about that, right? I was talking about Berbers can be full aggression. They're trying to get the map control, and we're gonna see now. We pick some highlights that we're gonna see very soon. And Doubt could never go in. Well, could keep away from his island. You will see here the Korean civilization. We were talking all behind there. He's gonna pick Korea for that map. Berbers was kind of expected, and then we're going to see very soon that I mean, the aggression he did, he's playing himself. Was so smooth. He plays so smooth. And Berbers, they are cheaper knights as well. The Korean civilization is great. He was having some good advantage. I remember at some point 10, 11 fishing ships, but he was getting raided all the time. He even lost at TC and was ahead in village, so Doubt was looking okay. But he could never stop that raid.
Yeah, I mean, the pressure that Doubt was put under was pretty monumental, and I think that Degao was able to convert that really well. In Viper versus Kingston, we saw some incredible pressure from Kingston, right? He came out guns blazing, or crossbows blazing, I guess, but he wasn't able to convert that into material advantage, and I think that was one of the differences we saw there, Mem. The pressure that Degao put on, it converted into a material advantage and ultimately a game win.
Yeah, I mean, in game number 2, we will see as well, because game number 2 was very similar. Everyone kind of know that the Meso civilizations, if you are not playing perfect, I'm impressed. I mean, I'm impressed about the Degao performance, and then he was here in the last minute. That was amazing. The level this year in the tournament, well, it's only the first day, and we can see that the level is probably ahead of the previous year.
Well, I mean, as we bring up maybe some vision from game number 2 here, if we've got it, you can talk us through what we saw here. Yeah. This is game 1 here on the water.
Game 1, well, the beautiful turtle that we see here. We see that he's dominating. He's getting the map. I hear he's already ahead in villages. Well, he's not really in villages. If we check 43 for Degao, 42 bad, he got the water control. The problem, constant raiding. He got even some janitors at home, so he was defending. He was always safe at home, Degao. This is second TC. He remake another toss, is still fine for now the population, but from this point, +2 in the nights, it start to snowball. You see all the mangonels, the night that don't stop raiding. We're gonna keep going a lot more. Doubt tried a counterattack here with the Korean towers, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough because these knights are so strong. Even if he got some monks, you can see he's raiding, and now he take down one. He's gonna keep raiding as well. But at home he was completely fine.
Yeah,
as you can see.
And this is what he was talking about in applying that pressure, making sure that he didn't leave holes in the back end for Doubt to take advantage of. And as you say, well, look, I think Degao was being a little modest, he said he was lucky for this sort of stuff to come in. But, you know, luck will only get you so far. I think Degar really here
luck is one attack, right? One attack can be, but here is what's constantly attacking. Soon, now we're going to see how he's doing a castle. So now it's 100% safe. The towers, Korea towers that are very dangerous, you know, they are going to be gone now. And even here, he's denying those. He's playing perfect. He's playing the game. Look at the population now. Total domination.
Total domination, game number 1. And we can probably move on to game number 2 now, have a look at what happened in enclosed.
Yeah.
Early pressure was what Degar came with in enclosed. What do you? How do you feel about that approach on enclosed, like getting out really early?
I like that a lot. We're gonna see now when the game number 2 is going to appear in a moment. We can see here how Doubt was still living in Imperial much faster, but Dogao got the economy. With the towers, you cannot do anything anymore because even made a castle forward on his base. So at this point, Doubt was trying that. You can see how he resigned. And then in game number 2, it's really amazing because we're gonna see in a moment that these 2 archery ranges done really fast. Then you might believe, hey, I'm not gonna have enough economy to keep going because Mayan is so strong. What Dogao did amazing. You can see there the 2 archery ranges. We're gonna see again in a moment. It was there, we promise. Now they're there, the 2 archery ranges. Yeah. And this is very important. Why we put the forward war here? Because Doubt see it. But even like this, that doesn't matter. Dogao played really well. And then we're gonna see how the market abuse is almost at the same time. What that means. The Mayans' power is if you gonna go up to the next age much faster, then you can kick in. But it didn't happen. They were almost at the same time. And Dogao never took a single attack before he got the average and the relics, Lithuanian relics.
And this is what he talked about. He talked about that taking that first fight, taking it at the right time, with the pressure that, again, was converted into material advantage. A snowball that was, against this Mayan Civ, as Degar said, a combination of cavalry, of ranged units, and this is what got Degar over the line.
And the quality of the kills. We see KD 7-7, but how is they call KD? 4-0. 4-0 for Dogao and keep going from there. Keep going from there. We're gonna see soon in 1 or 2 minutes, we're gonna see that it was a lot more. And I don't remember one single attack from Doubt to Dogao base ever in the game.
But this is something, that I was talking to Dogao about, the fact that he said that in this map, he wanted that early pressure. He wanted to put his opponent, whoever it is, whether it's Doubt, whoever else, on the back foot, right? Not let them into the game. And I think he executed on that plan really, really well here, particularly knowing what unit composition he would want against a Meso Civ.
Yeah, you don't want to give Meso any advantage. The timing, the momentum has to be there for the Lithuanians. And in this battle, one of the battles that start to decide the game completely is a massive, massive battle here for Dogao with those knights just taking a lot. He keep the crossbows alive all the time. And we're going to see in the next 30 seconds how he keep out of goal all the time.
That was crucial, right? Because Meso Civs, the strength is behind with their Eagle Warriors, right? And you take them off gold, and what are they going to do, right? Yeah. This was, I think, a key moment in that game. The knights screening the archers able to pick off these infantry units as they want to do. And I mean, from that point onwards, I don't know, was the game over at that point for you?
I think so, because now, why we put in the highlights that TC extra? Now he was confident enough to say, okay, now I can add economy. And as you can see, the KD is perfect. 64, 23, 14 villains to 0. To 0, and keep attacking the goal all the game. Already, 3 relics down, but Dogao with 2 relics, he's fine. He got 40 and 2 relics, the knights are +3, and he called the GG.
And as we see there, very neatly timed, man. Wow, what an absolute professional. Look, I want to take a step back, and because this is obviously, pretty in-depth stuff here from Mem, and maybe if you're joining us as a fan of Age of Empires for the first time, maybe like me, you played it for the first time when you were 10 years old and you're back 15 years later watching this again. There are some key indicators here that we can take from this screen as to who's winning, right? And it's difficult to see, like Doubt's ahead on villagers, way behind on military. But it's numbers like this that you can look at and go, right, okay. And a villager in particular, losing a villager in this game, huge. When I started getting into competitive Age of Empires, that was a key understanding. Because like, when I played, I only had 10 villagers. I don't care if I lose one. I've got, population, 180 army. I had 1 villager. That's not going to make any difference. As I triple wall my Byzantine bombard cannons at the age of 10. But in a situation like this, you can offer some markers, some keystones here for our newer viewers as to why this was important, pushing them off the goal. Well, that kind of pressure and these numbers, what they mean.
In this specific matchup, the most important is not the numbers itself, it's that the consistency on those. Because if you kill 3-4 villages to the Mayan civilization, you might be fine if you reach up Castlage couple of minutes before or 1 minute. Why? You make the eagle warrior. The eagles are only costing 20 food, 50 gold. That's why he was pushing all the time on the goal. So the village in the start is not that big of a deal for him, but he need to keep doing the pressure. He did it, and that's why he won the game.
Yeah, and look, you know, from a different perspective as well, let's move away from the game a little bit, Mem, and talk about this tournament more broadly. Sadly, there have been players who haven't been able to make it. Yeah. Obviously, Vinch, unfortunately, with some visa issues. Nikov as well, our thoughts are with him. He's got COVID and he was unable to make the trip over here. And obviously, you know, many members in the community heartbroken by the fact that they couldn't make it here. But looking at the players who have joined us, Kingston, looking at Dugao, Kingston, he put up a real fight against the Viper. Dugao now taking out this one, talking about the fact that he started playing yesterday again in terms of preparation, because it's been a mad scramble for him to even get here.
Yeah.
So let's just take a second to, I mean, appreciate the colossal effort that Dugao's put into not just be in this tournament, but also taking out round number one.
I was talking last night with him. Sorry, Dugao, I'm giving some extra information.
Oh, here we go.
But he was telling me, Mem, I didn't know I was going to come.
Yeah.
So I was just playing a random map. I was playing just the ladder, and I didn't know. And look what he did with that. What happened? Dugao has a lot of experience, has been in many tournaments, and he has, well, a lot of knowledge, and he just knew exactly how to play this one. And, well, guys, because you didn't see Leary in the B stream as well, we are talking about the performance as well. Danielle has been playing amazing and put Leary almost 2-0 down. He came back, but the level is incredible.
Yeah, he put him to the test as well. And of course, that's over in our B stream. There you can catch all of those matches. And I've got an update from our B stream as well. Mem, thanks so much for your analysis, mate. We're going to get things set up for our next match here. But while we wait for the players to head over to the draft room to chat about what, while we wait for them to get to the map room to get set up for the next round, we're going to talk about what's coming in for the rest of the day. And of course, have a remind ourselves of where we are at the moment at the end of our second round. Let's have a look at our standings, bring them up for you to see. And you can see there that the Viper and Dugao already 1-0 down the bottom of the table, Doubt and Kingstone. Although, still, as we've said, a lot of Age of Empires left to play. And the magic number for these players is 2. 2 wins, and they are through to the quarterfinals, no questions asked. And we will be sending players to the quarterfinals, 4 of them, in fact, from 2 from each group, to the quarterfinals today. So the players who have done well so far, such as the Viper, such as Dugao, they'll be looking, they'll be looking pretty positive for that quarterfinal spot. They're already halfway there. Let's have a look over in Group B and an update there. Mr. Yo beating Valas 2-1 there. So it was 2 games to 0, excuse me. It was Leary versus Daniel that it was a 2-1 affair in favour of the Austrian, former Red Bull champion. So a great effort from Mr. Yo, who returns to the Redbull Wololo after an unfortunate absence last year, of course. It's great to see him back on top of his game, and I know Mr. Yo fans will be looking forward to seeing him in the winners' matches on this stream a little bit later on. A reminder, those Group B matches are being televised twitch.tv/Nilly_AOE. Let's have a look at what's up for the rest of the day here on our A stream. And you can see Kingston, the Viper, already in the books. Doubt versus Dugao. Both of these 2-0 here. And very shortly, it'll be Valese versus Kapoch. And Kapoch, one of the players who'll be playing in both halves of, I shouldn't say both halves, in the Age of Empires 2, Age of Empires 4 tournaments as well. More to come on that next week. And then later on, Jordan versus Tato. Of course, you're not going to want to miss that one. And then those TBD matches that you can see there, or you used to be able to see on the screen, they are our Group B winner matches. So they will be featuring players like Mr. Yo, they'll be featuring players like Leary. And we certainly hope you're going to be able to stick around for them wherever you are around the world. You can brave those time zones, my friends. Stay up late, and we're going to have a great time following this game that we all love. I understand we are making final preparations for our next draft for the next match, so it's my great pleasure to once again reintroduce Dave and T90, who are standing by with the call for our next match.
And now we have an incredible set coming up here. Riley mentioned it before. We've got Vilesa and we've got Kapoch, and Kapoch competing in both games. Kapoch, such an experienced competitor. You never really know what you're going to get with him, especially in a live event. I'm waiting for that game face to come out that we saw last night. He actually made a joke last night. He came in, he's like, I said, Kapoch, I need a different skill set for you. I need determination, 10 out of 10, 11. Anyway, we're going to head to the draft room right now as both of them are